going on, guys? It's your boy. You see, you're not gonna fool me, Jarrett. I'm sorry, you're not gonna fool me. See, he thought you everyone was unmuted. I'm like, no, those are the days of the past, y'all. So what's going on, guys? It's your boy Darren Gillum, aka Black Flags Matter, back for another edition of the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. We are here with the usual panel, and then a freaking NASCAR Twitter god, Justin Champagne himself. What's up, man? I've wanted to get you on the show for a while now. How's it going, man?
It's going good. How about you?
Oh, it's good, bro. It's definitely going well. Damn, so I don't know where to begin. I mean, Jared's got the topics as usual, but there's been so much happening over the past week, whether it's on social media or on the racetrack. It's crazy. So, Jared, let's just get right into it. Where do we begin?
Let's do it.
I'd say Kansas.
Okay, so yeah,
Like-
obviously, with the obvious Kansas race, of course. But, so let's get started on that Kansas talk, I guess. So, I guess I'll start it off. To be honest with you guys, I don't know about y'all. I just had a major NASCAR burnout over the past month and a half, to be honest with you. It's just, I'm just not used to this many races being so jam-packed, so close together. Now, obviously, with the whole COVID situation, that's warranted. You're going to have to, make up for some of those dates. And unfortunately, some racetracks lose dates and that sort of thing. But I don't know about you guys. Like, I don't know. It's just sometimes, like, I'll be like, I've gone from, waiting until the weekend to really enjoy it, to really get into it, because, that was one of the major draws to it to me. It's like you spend all this week with all this hype, this anticipation for whatever race, and then you watch the full race and you feel satisfied. Okay, we'll come back next weekend to do that. These weekday races, man, I don't know. They're just a drag from my perspective, to be honest with you. Now, I know some of y'all may disagree on that, but I can't wait. Hopefully next year we can get back to where, most of the races are on weekends. Like, I wouldn't say I'm totally against weekday races, but like when it comes to like all-star races and stuff, but even for those, I'm like, that's a major what if. But to the actual race at hand, Ryan Blaney can't catch any luck ever, and that sucks. And then Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick, like, they're really peaking at the right time. Well, I mean, they're definitely peaking right now. I don't know if they're like officially peaking yet, like, we'll see once they, make the playoffs. But I mean, once the playoffs start. But damn, they were nowhere to be found for most of that race. At least Harvick was. Hamlin was kind of up there, flirting with the top five at least. And then all of a sudden, the final restart, they're 1-2, battling for the lead, and then Hamlin basically skedaddles to another victory. Man, I mean, this is a really good year for Harvick and Hamlin, really showing up the entire competition. And I don't think anyone comes close to them. It's Harvick. Well, I mean, it's Hamlin, Harvick, and then the rest are just below. They're just beneath them, not even close to them. Like, not even the guys,
I'll give Keselowski. I think Keselowski's close.
To them, I don't know, man. Look, Keselowski, he puts on these amazing runs, but Harvick and Hamlin, they're always there at the end for the win. Always, it seems like week in, week out, ever since we came back from COVID. So, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, I got to see a little bit more from Keselowski, but right now, man, just Harvick and Hamlin, they're in their own universe.
I'll say Harvick is the only one I can trust right now. I still can't trust Hamlin yet. Like, I don't know what I have to see yet. I know he has like the most wins out of anybody right now, but I can't trust him just yet. Maybe it's like the ghosts of Hamlin's past choking again or something. But
it's based on history. I can't fully trust him yet. Yeah, I can't fully trust him yet. But
I just keep thinking
right now, though.
I just keep thinking that as we get closer to the playoffs, like when we get into the playoffs itself, we're probably going to see someone like Truex come back to his old form.
And Truex has shown flashes too sometimes. Like,
yeah, he's been close to getting a few more wins. He's got the one obviously at Martinsville, but I think he's going to have a fair shot at New Hampshire this weekend too, for that matter.
Oh yeah.
But he's just keep waiting for Truex to do his thing. Like at Kentucky, he was pretty close to winning too.
Oh, yeah, he was. And, some other young guys, I guess. I mean, Byron was up there for a little bit. I was like, okay, but then, like, he was on a bad strategy. He wasn't going to make it on fuel, so it was kind of pointless. But then a caution came out.
Got just duped by Harvick on that restart.
They did. It was going to be between them after that caution. Then Harvick just was like, no, not today, basically. And I don't know, man. Like, Byron's kind of showing up a little bit more. He's on that cut line. But, after Johnson struggles, and poor Jimmy Johnson, man. I don't know what he can do. I don't know what he can do anymore, to be honest with you. It's just, I don't know. I guess it's past it's his time. His time is up, I guess, Like, I mean.
He's just pressing too hard. I just think he wants to win so badly that he is. I mean, let's be real. Most of the mistakes this year have been on Jimmy Johnson. They've just been like aggressive mistakes, pushing too hard, too early. That's what it really comes down to. And I don't blame him. He could also say his head's not fully focused on NASCAR right now. I mean, he was really excited, and based on some of the quotes, was really into that IndyCar test. I think he, in a lot of ways, is kind of already looking past his full-time racing career a little bit, and I think that's also got into his head just a bit.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
there's a lot of things on his radar for next year. The IndyCar opportunities, probably around a few NASCAR starts, and now probably the SRX series next year. So he's probably got a lot of things that's coming up next year.
And the thing that I feel bad for Jimmy fans on is, unlike the last couple of years where the cars are just slow. I mean, Hendrick had been off, and granted, they're still kind of off right now, but the cars that Johnson was tracking were slow as hell in a lot of races. I mean, there were, I forgot what race it was. I think it was like a Las Vegas race maybe 2 years ago, where he got lapped like 2 or 3 times. It's just uncharacteristically un-Jimmy Johnson. But he's been fast this year. I mean, you look at like, because he's what, like I think 18 points out or 19 points out, something like that.
Yeah, and he's lucky because it was about to look worse.
But think what difference it would have made if, what was it, second or third place had counted at Charlotte,
the second place.
The difference right there, he's right in. We're having a completely different conversation right now. The speed is there. It's like you were saying, Eric. It's just the driver right now doesn't seem like he's there.
And if he didn't miss that race too, but that was for obvious reasons.
Well, that too. Yeah, I mean, he's faster than the guys in front of him. He just needs to, honestly, he needs to just sort of get back to that almost conservative championship mode to make it in. Because like when he would be going the last couple of races of, like, you know, I'd say 2008, 2009, those years there, where he was very conservative, gets the points he can without pushing it too hard. It was like him at his best. It was, you know, because he would still be up in the top 5. Mm-hmm. I think he can do that, get top 15s each week, and he'd be good to go. It's just, I think he's never really raced down here in this area of the field until these last couple of years, and I think he's still adjusting to it.
Yeah, if Johnson doesn't make the playoffs this year, there's going to be a big asterisk beside of that, because there's 2 races this season where it's as if they shouldn't have even counted in the first place, because 1, he didn't get to race in Indianapolis, and 2, at Charlotte, he got disqualified, so it's as if he shouldn't have even been racing the whole day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What do you think, Justin?
I think he should just start driving like he wants to win 8 championships. He needs to get out of his head a little bit. He needs to be more consistent. And like Eric said, he's driving way out of his head. He's driving way too aggressive. So I think if he just tones it down a little bit, be smooth like Kevin Harvick and Denny Hamlin, I think he could get in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think he could point his way in. It's just bad luck. It's just bad luck for him, unfortunately. Like, I don't know.
Basically.
Yeah, I mean, and also, you know, the head games. I mean, when you go from winning 7 championships to running, like, you know, mid-pack, I mean, it has to do something to you, too. Like, I guarantee you. I mean, he's probably like, damn, like, what the hell's going on here, you know? But I don't know, man. It's just, hopefully he can get it together. But we'll probably talk about the whole playoff bubble a little bit later on in the show, I assume. But, I mean, as far as the Kansas race is concerned, it was a typical Kansas race with this package. Like, I mean, you know, we were treated well to the spring race from last year where Bowman almost won. And, you know, that really, I think, shot some people's expectations up for it. But then I'm just sitting there watching. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that means with this package, like, I basically, like, the guys are spread out. It wasn't a bad race, no. But I mean,
by any means.
Yeah.
I would lean towards it being, you know, good more than anything if I had to pick one or the other. Mm-hmm. But I will say, like, I was completely wrong last week when I was like, we could be looking at the race of the year.
I remember that. I was like, and then I was watching, like, damn.
It wasn't the worst race of the year, at least, but
no, not a chance that it was. But it did surprise me that at times the lack of ability to pass, like guys like Hamlin and Harvick and a lot of those guys up front could, and there was more passing in this race than other mile and a halves. Yeah. Like people were comparing this one to Kentucky and like the Coke 600, and I'm like, how? Like this is head and shoulders better. It's not as good as last year's by any means, but it's like. Right. Kansas is just a track right now. It's hit that sweet spot. Mm-hmm. We're like right after the repave, you know, single groove racing for a few years there. Because it was 2012 was the repave, I think. 2012 was the repave. Yeah. It's been 8 years now. It's gotten worn in. I think I might have said this before. I personally think it's the best mile and a half on the circuit right now. just ahead of Chicagoland, but it kind of reminds me of Atlanta Motor Speedway because that track got repaved and reconfigured 1997.
Yeah, around.
And then you look at those years after it, and it was like from about 2001 to 2008, you couldn't get a bad Atlanta race. Right. That's how I think Kansas has been with this reconfiguration and repaving. So I'm happy. I'm actually excited when Kansas races come up, and if they allow fans, I can tell you right now, I'm getting like 3 or 4 tickets and bringing a bunch of people to Kansas. Like, I want to go to Kansas now. Plus, the facility is just freaking awesome.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Really quick, Bake the Snake, thanks for the $5 there, buddy. Welcome to 2020, where things get crazy and almost nothing seems to matter. That's the way it is right now, especially online, man. We'll talk about that later, but I don't know. If I were to rate this Kansas race, I would say 6 out of 10 probably. Nothing too spectacular, but it wasn't terrible.
I'll give it a 7.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7.
Yeah, I'm in the 7 range.
Yeah, I agree.
No, one thing I do want to bring up. Holy Jesus, that crash with Ryan Preece.
Oh yeah, that was.
I literally stopped and went, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
I haven't seen another wreck like that since Newman's.
No, but that reminded me a lot of Jeff Gordon's 2008 crash, though. Definitely, that's for sure. Like as soon as he went spinning and the angle and the speed he was going at, I knew. I was like, oh no.
I thought he was going over.
Mm-hmm. It kind of reminded me of was it 2012 with Eric McClure at
Talladega?
Talladega.
Yeah, shot straight.
Just that angle and how it sped up. It was just like, that was nasty.
And it's like nothing he got done. He's just trying to avoid the crash, but he's spun it too much and kept his foot in the gas too long, and I can't stop this.
But I understand from his perspective, that team's really been on the downward spiral. I mean, the last 3, well now 4 races, at least one of their 2 cars has finished last, and he was on track to getting one of his only top 10s of 2020.
No wonder Brad jumped on the NBC coverage. He needs that extra money.
He's probably like, man, I'm sick of seeing his cars like that. If someone wants to get all distracted in something else.
Meanwhile, behind the scenes, he's gonna like, stop making me look bad on TV, you guys. I'm gonna show up here and don't make me look bad while I'm out there.
But it's
AJ, would you come back?
Coverage.
It was truly a bad luck race for him because the reason he was probably not on the brakes as fast was he wanted to save the car. He was about to get a top 10 finish, unfortunately, but then unfortunately the wall bit him. And yeah, when he was like
bit
flying, bit him, shoot him up, spin him out,
put him through a freaking wood chipper.
And then the craziest part about this whole thing, the craziest part, which I found the funniest, is like, damn, these cars are really that safe and these tracks are really that safe because it wasn't even like 3 seconds and he's like all mad and then he puts his mask on. You remember to put the mask on too. That was the funniest part about the whole thing.
You know what the funny part is? He put it on immediately. Ricky Stenhouse does an interview, goes out of the car completely. He didn't even bother to put the mask on. He walked out without putting his mask on.
Yeah, but no, Ryan was like, I gotta make sure so NASCAR Twitter's not on my case. See, he knows this stuff. That was crazy. But yeah, it's a testament to the safety of these tracks and cars, man. It's crazy.
So really quick, before we get into ratings, should I jump on and see like what our personal ratings on here are with the poll?
Damn. Oh yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting about your poll. The iceberg poll. What was the ratings on that now?
Oh, we didn't break any records. This is the point of the year that it always dips down. Even Jeff Gluck's polls do at this point. So we only had 6.3 thousand votes. 19% of you thought it was great. 60% thought it was good. 15% thought average. 3% below average. 4% of you thought it was bad. So I love when they have like an even, 0 at the end of it with the percentage because I can add them better in my head. Net positivity, 79%, nice, and not too nice. It'd be 69% to be nice. But then 7% net negativity. So looking at some of the comments here, kind of disappointing. No, I'm kidding.
Those comments are never disappointing, ever. They're never disappointing.
This one's good. Kyle Town says Ryan Preece, I'm about to not finish last for the first time in a month. Christopher Bell, prepare for trouble inside wall and make it double.
Oh yeah, and that's because Christopher Bell tried to go for a hole that wasn't there, correct?
Yeah, Newman in a wrap.
Damn.
Let's see what we got here. Pretty good race. Had this from Robert Robert Burkett says, pretty good race, had some great racing and tons of wrecks and an all right finish too. Would have liked to see it more competitive at the end and not be Denny, but oh well.
Yeah, I mean, Denny's like, he's just that dude right now, man. And I mean, so is Harvick too. You got to beat him.
This race felt like a night version of the October race last year. You had Blaney with problems when he was really fast and led laps. Denny Hamlin wins it at the end. Like it felt like that race, just watching on TV. So let's see.
I feel like that's been the story for every race this season. Blaney dominates like 70% of it, and then Harvick or Hamlin somehow wins.
Yeah, you just can't close the deal, man. I don't know what it is.
Some of these comments, I have to admit, I have no idea what the hell these people are trying to say.
Yeah, it's just random.
I'll
It's
be
just a bunch of
honest.
random gibberish sometimes from some of these folks.
Anything odd,
Ooh.
like how to bake a cake and like that?
Yeah.
Here, nothing yet. But here's one. It's from something 88. Says, shout out to both the front row cars getting top 20s. JJ Yaley getting 22nd in the 27 car as well.
Yeah, I was
So-
like, damn, Yaley got 22nd. I saw that too. I was like, damn. Like, I never really heard of that team. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, gets the 22nd place finish. Not bad.
He was motivated by me comparing him to Quinn Houff.
Damn. Well, I mean, that comparison's warranted after that whole Charlotte fiasco.
And Corey LaJoy from Burnout Junior 88, there's a lot of ones with 88 in there, says Corey LaJoy almost had a top 10.
He did. That would have been his second of the year, too. Yeah, he almost did.
Let's see what else we got. What Incarnation? Because we always have to shout out Carnations. Says Kansas has become a show on the calendar. See, that's the thing. People are all upset about Kansas on Twitter and like in the comments and stuff last
And
week.
that's because it let us down.
I guess it did, yeah. I guess compared
Because
to last year.
it's something we were looking forward to. It's a show, and then it wasn't meeting our expectations.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, it wasn't terrible. But I mean, yeah, Kansas is becoming, that Atlanta track. What Atlanta was in the early 2000s too. Like, yes, we're going to Atlanta. It's going to be an amazing finish and all that stuff. I mean, it wasn't bad. I do agree though. Like, Kansas is becoming basically the best mile-and-a-half track on the circuit, without a doubt.
Denny Delivers here. I bet you he was happy with this race. Says commented on Sunday. Happy belated birthday, Darian.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm 23 years old now. That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
Nice. Yeah, my brother just turned 18 on the 24th. So
Oh, yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
birthday to him too.
Boys.
Let's see. Let's go. Let's see if we can go down to the bottom. Let's see what the last comment was. If it's appropriate, seeing how there's the bad ones down there.
Yeah.
Um,
Bottom of the barrel. That's the saying.
of course, this is the last comment.
What is it?
Steel Venom 330. Once again, this package sucks. Jesus. It never fails.
It never ends, too. It's just always that. It never ends, man.
Never ends. All right, so yeah, that was the poll. Thank everybody for watching. By the way, lick that like button. We got 221 people watching right now. Lick that like button.
Yep, go ahead and lick it. Let me read off some super chats really quick. Oh, Bake the Snake, thanks for the $2. Let's get ready to rumble. That was before the podcast. Appreciate that. And then Mr. Anti-Ant with the $2. Do you see Kyle Busch going winless this season? I wouldn't be surprised at this point. I mean, I personally I think he'll pull out one victory somewhere, to me personally. But, I mean, on the other hand, it wouldn't really surprise me just the way he's been running sometimes. It's just been way out of character.
Anything can happen. I remember, was it 2017 that Denny Hamlin went winless, and then after that, he's back to his old form. So
Pretty much.
it could just be one off season.
Yeah,
So
that
Darren,
happens.
you're saying he's going to pull out a win?
He's going to pull out a win, at one of these places.
This pull-out game has very much sucked this year, man. This is how I always derail it, man. I can always derail. I forced that one in there.
You're so edgy. Spam edgy in the chat. You're so edgy, bro.
I can't wait to get canceled on Twitter at 9.
God. No, they'll freaking cancel you for anything nowadays. But no, and one last super chat.
I'm leaving it out there for him now.
One final super chat. The Super Squad. Thanks, bro. Thank you for the $1 super chat. Appreciate it, and keep up the content on your channel too. I watch it from time to time, so appreciate what you do. But anyways, yeah, lick the like button, guys. And damn, should we talk about the ratings? Because the ratings, bro. Oh no.
Talk about bottom
it.
of the barrel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You want me to You want me to read them?
Yeah, read them out loud, man, because I still
All
can't
right,
believe it.
let me pick them up off the floor here. 0.9 rating with 1.47 million viewers. Oh my god. Lowest since at least 2000. I'm pretty sure from at least what I've seen on a brief look through. I'm pretty sure that's like the lowest ones recorded for a cup race, not having anything to do with rain, weather, anything.
I think it even
Yeah.
is less than those. I'm not sure, but I think it might be less than a lot of the rain delay races as well.
Yes, the 2015 Kansas night race, which was like first one on FS1, had 2 million viewers, and it was rain delayed like 7 hours or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Look,
this bad.
look, man, I said it in the very beginning of the show. Weekday races, they're not the move to me. I just can't deal with them anymore. And then even Real Rabin was like, guys, I just found out a race was on like an hour ago, and I think it was like an hour into the race or something like that. So like just as it was coming on, like that's never a good thing. You know what I mean? So definitely got to rectify
Well,
that.
no,
Had I not went over to my father-in-law's house that day with my race shirt on, like he looked at me, he's like, "Why are you wearing that today?" And I was like, "Because it's race day." He's like, "There's a race today?" Yeah.
I got a bunch of people like saying thanks for like my YouTube posts and Twitter posts and stuff because none of them knew. Like the marketing for this race was awful overall, just absolutely atrocious. There was no marketing whatsoever. That's a big problem there. But just, I mean, even with tons of marketing, because I know people were saying like the midweek race at Darlington, there was no marketing for it. There was it was all over the place. Like it was on basically every Fox owned channel in their umbrella. It was on, I saw it on like AMC, for instance, when I'm watching The Walking Dead. I mean, it's on all of these different really well watched channels.
It was on all the SmackDown that was going on. All the ESPN was saying there's a race this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's just at this point, I think we need, I know we'll talk about it in a little bit too, but the future of midweek racing, I don't like that. If it feels like if this continues on past this year when it's a necessity, it feels like it's just the networks trying to clear space for something else.
Yeah.
Like, I hate to say this, but like everyone was like, beginning this year was saying, "Oh, 2021, let's do midweek races. That'll be a good thing." Probably for the best that all this happened, so we can see what it's actually like.
Who called this?
A perfect test run. That's for sure.
What didn't I call this?
You did call it a perfect test run.
But I wanted to
for
try
sure.
it.
Yeah,
I will admit, I like trying it. Like I did like trying it just so we could see, because I would have. Trust me, if we could get proven wrong, I've actually had fun watching midweek races. I'll admit it. But if it's going to hurt the sport, I don't want it.
To be fair to them, when there was a midweek race where people were allowed to come to, it dragged us out there. So
I mean, if we're gonna do like, if they were really looking into it, like for weekday racing in the future, I mean, obviously the freaking duels. I mean, well, actually, no, the duels would be like, oh yeah, they would be during the week. Duh, what am I talking about?
I have a proposal for one midweek race a year to make it special. Have it actually scheduled as a midweek race instead of having to be moved like this year. Have the All-Star race at Bristol or on a rotation, night race, midsummer race, sort of like what the MLB does with their All-Star game. I know Matt Weaver, when he was on, he had said that there's nothing the day after the MLB All-Star game. And I believe it's on Fox, isn't it?
Yeah.
Often is.
Mm-hmm.
So have that as like sort of the All-Star double, I guess you could say. You can package it together with promotion with it, just something like that. That way you can, because they want to condense the schedule. You can condense the schedule another week in. It helps with that. If you actually have it planned there, I think it'll do better than it did this past year. And compared to the other midweek races, I don't think the ratings drop compared to comparative races from last year was as much for the All-Star race compared to others. I think it only felt like 300,000. And so I think that good marketing for that and having it at different tracks each year could work still. But as for like points races like Kansas, I don't think
no.
I will say that this year's All-Star race was really good in a sense of how it was a short track in the middle of a run of 1.5-mile tracks, and it was a good way to break things up and get people something fresh and different in the middle of all that.
Yeah, I mean, if there's one positive thing from this whole COVID situation, it's that it showed us that weekday racing might not be as valuable. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I feel like the TV partners though they'll get the biggest say. And if they're like, hey, like we want to do like more weekday races, then look, they're paying the bills right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if NASCAR were like, yeah, like just let them do whatever. But I mean, it would definitely hurt the ratings and stuff. But I mean, I don't know. It's just, as far as NASCAR's bottom line, I don't think that would be as affected. But I mean, long term, I think they'll definitely see the damage from it, if they go this route. But we'll see what happens. But anyways, hold on really quick. Meanville Speedway, thank you for becoming I believe the 7th different channel member, or maybe 8th, excuse me. So I really appreciate that. And, we got 2 more super chats too. Damn, we got some big ones. It's like last one. I remember the last show. There was like a lot of super chats the last one. All right, so Andrew, thank you for the $5. Boyer being 42 plus over the cut line makes no sense since he's not been competitive outside Darlington 2, basically the second Darlington race. Also, the RCR War Room was really annoying during the broadcast.
I didn't really get any extra information from it. They just kept showing those screens, and I'm like,
yeah. I don't know what this is. I don't know what it says.
It was pretty cool to see that a team has went through all that effort though to kind of like be there when they can't be there. Because I thought it was odd. Like I remember when Austin Dillon won Texas, I was like, did I just hear Richard Childress on the radio? But I'm like, wait, how is Richard Childress on the radio? He can't be at the track.
He bought a ticket.
Yeah, I think it's a cool idea. I just thought it was annoying in the broadcast. They kept cutting to it, especially when every time they'd cut to it, you'd have Marty Snyder saying, "Oh yeah, the computer told them to pit and take 4. They're not doing that."
It's like the most obvious.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about that? I remember that restart, and it's like the computer told them to, but they're not going to do it. They
never did what the computer told them to do. And I just
every time it bit them. Like that restart, they both fell out of the top 10 in like a lap after doing that. And I'm like,
isn't that what computers are for like the simulations? And it's like, hey, it's best to pit here and not here.
Straight up, NBC was exposing the RCR.
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. Like you watch the race and you're like, who the hell are these guys, man? Like they're not even listening to the freaking data. Like come on, man. One final super chat really quick. Irvin, thank you for the $10 there, buddy. Great podcast. I can't wait for the Daytona Grand Prix. If rain comes, given the chance, I expect carnage. Yep. As for playoff races, 2 races that's uncertain is Phoenix and Las Vegas. Possible changes there. We were just talking about that. The possibility of Texas and Vegas being swapped during the playoffs is that's a real thing. As far as Phoenix, I really think NASCAR they're fully committed to try and make Phoenix the final race of the season because of all the innovations and like it was hyped up this year too. So they don't want to basically let that go to waste. So we'll see though.
So NASCAR Weekly Podcast mod in the chat said that we missed a super chat. I'll read it for you.
Oh, we missed a super chat.
From Mr. Antiant, $1.99 says, Darian, what do you order when you go to Burger King?
Oh God, I forgot that. I'm sorry, Mr. Antiant, my bad. Damn, I don't really go to Burger King that much. I mostly go to Cane's, bro. But
he gets the Impossible Whopper.
Yeah, no. If I go to Burger King, I'll get a freaking Whopper. I don't know, but no. Thanks for the super chat, man. But all right, what else is on tap, Jarrett? What else we got?
Well, we talked about it earlier, but what about the Jimmy Johnson IndyCar test?
Okay, so I'll get this out the way first. Basically me getting more into IndyCar, I'm getting a better understanding of the sport, and I really put these guys up there like past NASCAR drivers to a certain extent, especially with the type of cars they race now. There's no power steering. You got to be a man's man to drive those cars, and they're going freaking 220, 200 at some of these places consistently. And you saw the Colton Herta crash too. So these cars can freaking combust and just start flying at any moment, it seems sometimes, just after the littlest like wheel touch or wheel spin, something like that, that'll send these cars on a frenzy. But for some to think that if Jimmy Johnson comes into IndyCar next year and starts winning, that's not going to happen. The IndyCar competition is probably the deepest class of talent that I don't know, like in history. That's what I've seen. Like there's just so many veterans and there's so many young up and comers with Andretti Motorsport, McLaren, all those teams. So there's so many talented open wheel drivers in the pipeline. And to think that Johnson's going to immediately come in and start kicking everyone's ass, no, that's not going to happen. So I just want to get that out the way. But as far as him coming in and competing in the future, that is very intriguing, and that really shows that, he's definitely thinking about life, past NASCAR, for sure.
Well, that about covers it. No, I'm actually like, I was pretty excited to see it. I was following a lot of what David was covering there, which I find really funny because a bunch of people started hating him and saying, why is he allowed there? And it's like, it's an open test, dumbass.
Yeah, but says, y'all chill.
But he was saying that it didn't look any different from any other driver that was on the Indy road course. He did say that you could tell that it was his first time being in an Indy car because he spun it a few times. An interesting thing, and I don't know if they did it or not, if they're planning to, but he did say that they were looking at, during a really long break, looking at the oval layout and the stuff to get that set up. So I don't know if he's going to do that or if they were just doing that to, because just to get some stuff ready so it was easier to clean up after the fact. I don't know.
They're talking about some Indy 500 hype for next year. Hey, kind of looking over the track, this sort of thing. I'm like, yep.
Well, what I'm saying is because Johnson said he would be doing the road course races if he could. He'd love to do a full road course schedule. I wouldn't be surprised though if next year he goes at the Indy 500 too. Yeah. Honest to God.
Yeah.
If he does go to Indy 500, I'm gonna go to it probably.
Yeah. Or I just want to be there in general. But yeah, that would definitely add some different level of excitement. See, I've always wanted to see Junior run in the Indy 500. That's always been. I don't think that's gonna help. Yeah, that's not gonna happen though. But Jimmy Johnson running it, that's the second best thing on my list. When it comes to NASCAR, IndyCar crossovers.
I would have liked to have seen Dale Jr. try it in 2006 to 2010 range. I think we're a little past his time for that.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's definitely not doing that. I'm quite certain the wife probably wouldn't let him do that either.
Well, she won't even let him go do Talladega anymore. So IndyCar's off the table.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, basically these IndyCars, man, they freaking shoot the entire race, man, on consistently. So
someone needs to make really quick. Someone needs to make a meme of Darian saying "shoe" and have it behind Indy cars going by, please. Please, someone make that. Tag me on Twitter, and I will shout you out before the end of the podcast if you tag me on Twitter.
Carnation, or someone else too. Yeah, definitely. Justin, what do you think, man?
Jimmy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he will do the Indy 500 next year. I don't think he wants to make time for his family, and that's why he's retiring from NASCAR. So I don't really think he's going to do a full-time season, but maybe the Indy road course or the Indy 500. So I'm leaning on those two races for him next year.
Yeah, definitely. I got to ask everyone here on the panel, though, how do you think he'll perform, though? Eric, you start us off.
If he runs the Indy 500, I think he'll run top 5. He'll have a shot to win. Mm-hmm. That's just my opinion. You saw Kurt Busch get in an IndyCar for the first time in 2014 and run top 5, and I think finish 6th. So Indy 500, it's difficult to handle those cars. I mean, those cars can snap loose and wreck easily, but it's sort of closer to how the Daytona 500 is for NASCAR. Anyone can get behind the wheel there and at least be competitive. It's not as easy to drive at Indianapolis as it is to run Daytona, without a doubt. I'm not saying that, but it is. You can see people get behind the wheel and kind of pick it up quickly. But I just like that we're having this conversation. The only reason we're having this conversation is because of the safety improvements IndyCar has made with the aero screen. That's what Jimmy Johnson cited as his reasoning behind considering running the Indy 500. And we kind of saw the aero screen come into play at Iowa a couple weeks back, and it clearly seems to work and is definitely going to improve the safety of those race cars. So I think it's a great endorsement of it, or just a great this is kind of a great thing for IndyCar that they make that change and it might immediately pay dividends. They might get one of the biggest racing superstars in the continent to race their biggest race because of that one change. That's huge. So I think that's a glowing endorsement for IndyCar.
Big question is, if he does decide to go run a bunch of IndyCar races, who does he go race for?
I've seen Ed Carpenter, and then Ganassi gave him the test. I don't know if Ganassi has enough funding.
I think Ganassi probably makes sense. I'm just saying surely Ally would probably come on over. Heck, maybe you can even talk to people at Lowe's come on for just 1 or 2.
Yeah, having Lowe's on, as a sponsor for him for the Indy 500, that would be whoa, mind-blowing stuff.
I really kind of think if you got the right executives there and you told them, hey, it's not for a whole season, it's just for literally this thing here, they might would reconsider.
What's it cost compared to NASCAR to sponsor an IndyCar?
I don't know the cost exactly, but I do know it's cheaper though. It's much cheaper, I believe, to do that, to sponsor one. So
He'll have sponsorship, that's for sure.
yeah, yeah.
There's no way he wouldn't.
I'd imagine it probably sits somewhere in between a good Xfinity car and a Cup car, probably.
Yeah, somewhere around there. I
It
mean,
might change
there's-
for the Indy 500 too, that being that specific
Yeah.
race.
The chat right now, they are racing to make the meme. So yeah, tag me on Twitter. I'll shout you out in the podcast, whichever one I see first.
yeah, make the memes, bro, and also lick the like button, guys. Appreciate it.
You're gonna get your notifications flooded with mostly the same name with a few different variants in there.
Pretty much, yeah. It's about
Bing,
to
bing,
happen.
bing, bing.
Yeah, pretty much. But I mean, I don't know. Johnson, I think he'll run okay, but I mean, winning races at the highest level in American, open wheel racing, no, that's not gonna happen. I don't think.
Yeah. So really quick, I think I have another interesting story if you guys want to sort of look into it, and it has something to do with last week.
Oh no, here we go. What is it?
No, I mean like actual story, not like I'm telling the story. I mean.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
So what's our thoughts on Joe Graff Jr. versus Jesse Little?
You know what's interesting? They follow me on Twitter too, and I saw Jesse Little, and we just had Jesse Little on the podcast last week. So Jesse Little was tweeting this stuff, and I'm like, damn. So something must have happened, midfield, that the NBC didn't pick up. And then Joe Graff Jr. is like, well, you stared at me, blah blah blah, for an hour. I'm like, geez. So there's some beef there. So that really begs the question, there's probably so many beefs inside the sport that we're just not aware of. But I mean, this.
Well, Moonhead's money is on Jesse.
Oh yeah, bro. Jesse, yeah, definitely, that's for sure. But no.
Well, Jesse don't follow me. Joe does. I gotta go with Joe.
Gotta go with gotta stay loyal. But I mean, I don't know, man. Jesse Little, he's one of those favorite underdog drivers. I definitely believe in him a lot. I feel like if he gets the funding, he'll be at a much he'll definitely be racing in the Cup Series full time. That's for sure. I really believe he has the talent. But as for Joe Graff Jr., he's been, he has a history. He basically dumped Chandler Smith to get his first and I believe only career ARCA win. I think way back in 2018, I believe. I think it was at IRP, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So chat, want to help me out with that. And then, last year doing some races for RCR and not making the field. So yeah, that's ripe for, some criticism right there. But the point of this
when that team literally won the championship.
Yeah, exactly. And then you see Anthony Alfredo, doing what he's doing in that exact same car. So that says a lot. But the point is, though, I'll give Graff some props this year because even though he's in that 08 car with funding that's obviously coming from his end, he has been running consistent. You know what I mean? So I mean, I really don't hear about him that often during the broadcast, he spun, that sort of thing. I mean, outside of, just the ordinary, occasional mishaps. And then, with 2 laps to go, cut a tire, there's not much you can do in that situation. But I mean, there is a history with him, though, getting into these beefs. And, I was surprised it was with Jesse, though. That's for sure.
It's funny. IOI says, well, if there's beef within the podcast, the BFM isn't picking up.
There's no beef here, guys. Trust me, no beef here.
Dylan will be on in the second half of the show.
But what's your thoughts on all this, Eric?
Yeah.
I haven't gone back and looked at the specific instance. I saw the tweets, and I thought the tweets were extremely amusing. Joe Graff did not hold back, but I haven't gone back and seen. Like you said, NBC. I don't even know if they have clips of all the recent incidents.
They probably don't.
I mean, that's the thing is you see these 2 drivers who are on smaller teams who are still fighting to make a name for themselves in NASCAR. They're fighting for their own longevity in the sport. So every race matters to them. Every opportunity matters more to them than it does. That's the issue when you get rivalries in the Cup Series between Kyle Busch and Chase Elliott. It's those drivers, what are they really racing for? They're racing for championships, but it's not like they're scrapping to stay relevant. Mm-hmm. With guys like Jesse Little, Joe Graff Jr., and we've seen a lot of angry drivers in the Xfinity Series this year, you get a sense that a lot of these guys are just desperate to stay in the sport beyond this year. I mean, you look at Noah Gragson, I know he's had his issues, but he's one of the top drivers in points, has 2 wins this year. He doesn't even have a contract for next year. And there are other drivers very much like him that are in good rides that don't know what their future holds. So I can only imagine how that might trickle down to even the smaller team drivers who have even more uncertainties, maybe on a week-to-week basis. Any issue on track, I'm sure has to be kind of blown out of proportion, but to them, I think it's warranted.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. What do you think, Justin?
Honestly, I didn't even that whole situation. Didn't really get in tune with it. I honestly, I heard about it, but I didn't know what happened. But like Eric said, like they're fighting for getting contracts and getting into the Cup Series or even having another Xfinity ride for next year. So, I understand why they're going at it. Twitter fingers and all that.
Yeah.
So
See, it's
it's
cool to
interesting
see.
for fans.
Yeah, it's cool to see those types of beefs in NASCAR because I know in
Well,
the NBA those are like on a weekly basis, pretty much. It's
Yeah,
definitely entertaining.
yeah.
Well, I think someone like there's two things that I'd heard. One, I'd heard from some other drivers around there, like they tweeted out and stuff, that like it seemed like Graf had spun little, but I don't know if there was something before that, and I don't. And then I think someone had said something about like they're trying to set up a fight with each other, like.
Yeah, I mean Moonhead was like, hey, like having on freaking Moon Vision, bro.
Let's do it. Let's do it, man. And Moonhead can do the announcing. I'll be a reporter on it.
Yeah,
I'll
seriously.
I'll zoom in with people.
I'll be the
By
ringsider. Be like, damn, we're messing each other up. But
the way, since he brought up Moonhead, I got to give a shout out to him. Before I came on here, I saw some posts on Twitter.
yes, the video.
2-minute guide to NASCAR Twitter. If you
Yeah.
haven't seen it, you need to go check it out.
Yeah, go watch that video on Twitter,
We'll
man.
get-
It was funny.
We'll get to NASCAR Twitter right after the lightning round, but it's beautiful.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely beautiful. So let's see. Do we have anything else? If they do fight, I want it to be at Applebee's.
Applebee's, have Mike Harmon be the ref, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be funny. That'd be some must see YouTube right there. That's for sure.
I'd laugh my ass off if they fight, but they keep masks on.
There you go.
And whoever wins gets to drive the 74 car with Applebee's on the
Oh God, man. Kyle Weatherman. By the way, shout out to Kyle Weatherman, bro. First top 10 in a while, or ever for that team, like a while back, and he's been running pretty well with those since hooking up with that team. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ooh, another spicy story to talk about here. I think we can go into it, especially seeing. By the way, Danny, I have that shirt. I wore that at your house.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the exact same
I just
shirt.
noticed it.
Mhm.
I just noticed it. But I want to hear your thoughts on this one. Hendrick, according to I think it was Lee Spencer, may go down to 3 cars, dropping the 88 car and switching Alex Bowman to the 48.
Yeah,
So,
Danny, you
lead
go
us off
ahead.
here.
Yeah, talk about it, bro.
Lead us off.
If it happens, then great. I'll support it. And it would be so weird to go. Imagine going back to 2014, watching Alex Bowman suffer in a 23 car and say, hey, he's going to replace Dale Jr. and Jimmy Johnson, right?
Yeah, in the span of like 5 years, basically, he's gonna replace
Less than
those
that,
two.
even.
Yeah,
3.
or 3. Damn, wow. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
2018, 2021.
Jeez, that is insane. Yeah,
It's something that I did not expect, but I made up my own little concept of what would it look like if you gave the 48 with the current font that the 88 has, and just did a little quick scheme I could think of, and yeah, I mean I can get behind it.
Yeah, I like that, Danny. That was a
If
cool
it
statement.
if it means that Ally is gonna stick around with him and hopefully not pull a nationwide and be like, see ya, we paid for this already.
I like how you say that, like, looking back to 2014, like you couldn't imagine with Bowman, but then you look Hendrick Motorsports overall. The 88, 48, and 24 teams all won, I believe, 4 races that year. Casey Kane also in 5 was pretty competitive.
One.
Like they were probably overall the best team in the sport only 6 years ago.
Yep,
And now they might go down. I don't know if it's performance based. The sponsorship isn't showing up. They've had sponsorship issues since about 2012, ever since the National Guard fiasco.
I think Hendrick from 2014 went to an all-time low right about 2017 because 2016 they won a championship. 2017 was probably their lowest, and then they kind of 18 was just stagnant a little bit. Elliott got some wins. Then 2019 they're kind of like midway, I guess.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I'm just so accustomed to Hendrick Motorsports being this, one of the top teams, if not the top team. And it's just crazy to think that now, the rumor of, downsizing might be a possibility now, I mean,
But maybe it's not a bad thing, though.
yeah,
to
I was
give
about to
their-
say that. I was about to
to
say
give
that.
their teams a chance to focus on producing the best stuff they can for 3 cars.
Yeah, I
Like,
was about to say that.
even we give Roush crap, but honestly, that team is probably doing.
Yeah, they're doing the best.
Yeah, them and RCR are doing the best they can with the 2 cars that they have.
Yeah, if Rouse Racing still had 4 cars to this day, they'd be dead. It would not be sustainable. But I mean, I think Hendrick is starting to realize that, and it's like, hey, Johnson's leaving, so let's just blow up one of the teams. Unfortunately, that means laying a ton of people off, but I mean that's just a part of the business. It's part of the business in racing, unfortunately.
Here's my question though: if that happens, like, what crew chief gets dropped? Because you have to drop one.
Oh, if you have to drop one,
Gustafson's staying put.
Yeah, Gustafson.
Canales is staying on the 24, so
yeah, he's not leaving.
DK Bives or the one with Johnson?
Downs could retire. I feel like in a lot of ways his contract. How long is his contract for?
I thought he signed a big extension.
Oh, he did. You're right. Never mind.
Damn. So yeah, he's gonna be there for a little bit. I mean, if it's up between Ives and the other guy,
Cliff Daniels. So I'm looking at the chat, and we got so far 2 for Ives and 1 for Daniels.
That's one that's like 50-50.
I would actually put. I would actually move Canals back to the 48 and put Ives of Byron. Actually, I think that'd be a better combination.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like I don't know what it is about the whole Canals Byron combination. If it's just a standpoint of, hey, the equipment is not there this year, the performance isn't there. If it's because of that, or if it's because I don't know, maybe it's from a driver standpoint too. I mean, I know Byron is still really really young though, so that's why they also
noted. I think it might have been one of the Fox races. Could have been NBC, but they noticed that Canales just doesn't seem like his normal self, like with everything. It's just he doesn't have that same swagger that he had before. So it's probably just a combo of everything on top of Chevy not being as strong. I mean, and again, this is still just a rumor. It's not like it's been proven true. It just surprises me that Hendrick hasn't come out yet and refuted any of it.
Yeah, I mean,
so it has to be at least on the table.
I mean,
I trust Lee Spencer too. I don't think that she'd go out and say something blatantly false just to get some clicks. I look at her being above that.
She wouldn't do that.
I trust that this is definitely something that she heard was I believe she was probably walking around, talked to someone who either works at Hendrick or is close to Hendrick, and they said, oh yeah, that's something someone mentioned in a meeting. I can believe that happened. I still think it's probably more likely they find someone to keep a 4th team. I think the big issue is sponsorship right now, because the 88 car does not, that Chevy sponsorship with all the Chevy partners, I can't imagine they're making much money off that sponsorship. That felt like a last minute, just we got to put something on the car because we're missing so many races for Bowman this year.
They got 3 companies that go in 3 ways for that. So
yeah, I just get the impression that that's not as lucrative as say the Ally deal or the Nationwide.
Well, no, it's just the bare minimum, isn't it? It's the bare minimum, right?
Well, even then, if you take Ally, and Ally's doing like all of it for the 48 right now. If you tell Ally, hey, we're gonna have Valvoline for a few races, we're gonna have Exalta for a few races, we're gonna have Lumar for a few races, and Chevy Goods will do 2 or 3. That's taking a lot more off their load then.
But I just wonder, Ally's already signed a contract. I don't know what they can negotiate. Like Ally, in theory, is signed on based on reports to 38 races a year for the next 3 years. It's like, are they gonna maybe they'll renegotiate? That's always a possibility, because maybe Ally didn't expect Jimmy Johnson to retire this soon into their deal. I don't know.
Maybe for Ally, they get most of it Bowman in a few races with like Elliott, the top dog over there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Look to what, even just at a track level, what happened with Phoenix with ISM. They had been signed, I think it was a 10-year deal or 9-year deal, and they just axed that after 2.
Contracts can be tore up. That is true.
Their contracts are meant to be broken.
What if suddenly it comes out of nowhere, like they do shrink to a 3rd team, and it's because Allies dropped out, like Ally DC Solar's the way out of this contract, and all of a sudden we're scrambling to find a 3rd. That would be worst case scenario. I'm obviously. I'd hate to see Hendrick go down to 3 cars, because that's one less competitive race car on the racetrack. And with so many good drivers coming up through different systems, the last thing I want to see is less competitive cars in the Cup Series. I want to see more competitive cars. So, but if they go down to 3 and they get more competitive, and we start to see the 9 and the 24 and the 48 or whatever numbers they have contending for wins and actually contending for championships, then maybe it'll be worthwhile, because that's kind of the route Roush has gone, and they haven't gotten back to what they used to be, but at least they bottomed out.
They're still alive.
They're back on the upswing, maybe.
And And it is at the same rate too. If you look at the same size and shrinking down, RCR in 2009 was at 4 teams.
Mm-hmm.
All of them missed the chase at the time. I think the highest finisher in points is like 16th. And then the next year they shrunk down to 3 teams, got everything sort of sorted out in a row together, got everything good. And Kevin Harvick made, until 2014, his strongest run ever at a championship.
Yeah.
So like that there is like a valid point to be made there, that downsizing, getting everything just into, more resources into less cars could work. I just want to know. Like having these little tidbits thrown out at this point is kind of annoying to me.
I guess
at this point, it's starting to feel weird, this whole situation, because in previous situations, we knew already that Alex Bowman would be replacing Dale Jr. We knew that Chase Elliott would be replacing Jeff Gordon. We know nothing, and it's kind of starting to be what's happening.
I guess the real question is, in conclusion, is Hendrick downsizing to thrive or to simply survive? I mean, only the future will tell us that, but we'll see what happens.
Yep.
I think we can get one more story before we get to the lightning round.
Yeah.
Part
And
of
then
it.
after
So
that, I will read some of y'all super chats. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
let's look through here and see what we got. I'm trying to think which one would be really good to end off on.
There's so
You want
many.
to do a non-NASCAR story?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead and do that.
SRX. They've got some stuff going on.
Hey, yes, they got some exciting
So-
things going on right
I
there.
wanna, let me see where it's at on here. I saw they got Paul Tracy confirmed to drive in the SRX now.
Which
Yeah.
surprised me, because I noticed the other day they had 21 people they were following, and Paul Tracy was the one they unfollowed because it went down to 20. I was like, what happened?
Yeah, then I guess they got a deal.
So when I found out that he was coming on, I was like, oh, well, I guess they did bring him on.
Yeah, so I guess so. But I mean, we already saw the sketch of the car. Really looks like a Trans Am. It looked like some other Trans Am car. I can't remember what it was called, but it's something.
I'm taking that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
We've only seen the front.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, we don't
Well,
know
listen.
exactly what it is yet.
Listen,
All I'm going to say is, though, the tracks that they're following right now, there's 2 dirt tracks, and whatever that car was they posted could not compete on the dirt track.
Okay, I'm gonna be real here, and maybe I'm gonna put on my tinfoil hat here. I think what they're doing right now is pre-planned. They know how to market themselves right now.
Yeah.
Because you look at like the thing they put out with the big ass splitter,
Mhm.
like that right there immediately is gonna get everyone up and outraged and stuff. And then was it like 6 hours later, they have another one set up with like the same shading and everything. Everything's the same, except it's just the splitter smaller. I think they're doing this just to keep eyes on them. This is like, because like at first I was like, I saw what you put, Eric, and I agreed until I was thinking more about where it's like, are you really gauging how your cars are going to look off of Twitter? Like, that's stupid. But I'm like, I can't see someone like Tony Stewart giving a crap about social media at all and putting his name that front and center with it. So I think they're just doing this as marketing.
At that point, it's more on the Ray Abraham side of it than it's Tony Stewart, though.
Oh, I still think it's all marketing here.
Yeah.
Like I do not think that like I don't think the car's going to look anything like those sketches, to be completely honest with you, except for maybe the extra grill. That's about it.
Honestly, that looked kind of cool.
I think it did. It wasn't
I like
overboard with it. It wasn't overboard.
Now, the one thing that a lot of people went quiet on, that everyone was so up in arms about NASCAR earlier this year, was the one lug nut that was on the car that they showed.
Yeah.
That's it. Can't watch it.
You can't watch it. And I was surprised by the freaking Goodyear partnership. I figured it would be Hoosiers. We were talking about that at the freaking Bristol house.
But again, it's only a sketch.
It's only a sketch.
Like,
Nothing's
they haven't
official.
announced anything.
Nothing's official yet. But it's just, I was just like, damn, out of all the tires that, I mean, with, Tony Stewart being involved, you figured it'd be Hoosier, but you never know.
Watch the first race is just it's like Indy 2008 all over again.
No, watch it be a
Tony
goddamn
Stewart.
tire war again, something like that.
Tony Stewart badmouths them like on big CBS, like right after the race. Tony, what'd you think of the first race? It sucked because of Goodyear.
Yeah, Goodyear. That's the only reason he wanted to partner with them, just so he can shit on them.
Honestly, what if it was just like, hey, we're going to make your cars the same, but you just get whatever tire you can find.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. Like, I feel like people need to remember, they need to fully understand, like, look, this isn't going to be exactly like NASCAR. I know they want to race at these short tracks, you know. This isn't NASCAR. This is SRX. You know, this is something different. It just so happens to mostly have NASCAR drivers, or potentially could mostly have NASCAR drivers. We don't know yet. But I mean, with getting Paul Tracy on though, he hasn't raced in quite a while. He's one of the lead commentators over for IndyCar on NBC. So to get someone like him, of his caliber in there is pretty damn cool, and really shows that Tony Stewart, even to this day, still has some strong connecting relationships with open wheel and NASCAR.
Now, wasn't Paul Tracy known to be kind of like a little bit of kind of like
he was a hothead. He was a hothead. Yeah.
And definitely had personality, because even his profile picture is him in his fire suit with like a luchador mask or something like that.
Yeah. He was known as a hothead back in the day.
Comment.
NASCAR Weekly Podcast mod made the meme.
Oh, he made the meme? Okay, I'll check it out.
I want to see other people's versions, but it's pretty good. It's just I love it.
So comment that I saw was, can't wait to see Paul Tracy and Tony Stewart inevitably get into a shouting match with one another after a race.
Something like that. Something like that will probably happen. Hell, I won't be surprised if Tracy gets into one with like Danica or something like that. He don't care. He really didn't care back in his carton days.
Unless we put Danica in the booth, like I said.
Hey, there you go. See, there's some potential right there. Justin, what do you think?
Did she still wreck?
What do you think, Justin?
I'm excited. It reminds me of like the IROC days, basically. We get world-class drivers and open wheel stock car racing. They keep the hints that they're giving out, like we don't know like exactly what it is. Like he said before, like the sketch with that big splitter. Come on now, like they knew they weren't gonna race that, so they're just like he said, like
there's trolling right now.
Yeah, so I can't wait. I don't know, like it's gonna be SRX and NASCAR for me.
Yeah,
I can't. I hope Junior's in it. I hope Gordon. I hope all the iconic, the GOATs, man. I hope so. I can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of potential, man. And I mean, if Jared's, on point about that whole marketing thing, then they're kind of, in the same boat as us from time to time. I mean, I feel like to an extent, some of us on this platform kind of, know how to kind of market ourselves to an extent. But I mean, I think they're taking it, to the next level because, hey, this is a freaking whole, a giant racing operation, that is still in the early works. So, I mean, they're doing a pretty good job if that's the case then. So
amazing.
Damn! Justin! He was doing that. That was happening before the show. Gee. No, that scared the hell out of me. That's all good, bro.
And really quick before we head to the lightning round, Andrew Meyer, I agree with you, bro. I want Greg Biffle to race in the 69 car in SRX.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. That's for sure. Really quick, let me read off some super chats. JC1424, thank you for the $2. And that collab from last week. I was happy to be able to be a part of that. NRF as a guest next week. What's funny is we asked him 2 years ago, and he said no.
I've asked him multiple times, and he says no every time.
Yeah, so no, obviously we're not on his list. And then Bake the Snake with two $5 super chats. Thanks, bro. The first one, Twitter, where people would rather rather argue instead of meeting at Applebee's like my Carmen. That's true. And number two, the second one. So we basically went from seeing HMS, RFR, and RCR dominating weekly to seeing JGR, Storehouse Racing, and TP. What does TP stand for again? What team is
Team
that?
Penske.
Oh yeah, Team Penske. That's right. Team Penske replaced them in the spotlight. Yeah, it's kind of shifted over the past decade or decade and a half. Definitely, that's for sure. So yeah, man, that'll do it for super chats. Thanks, guys.
All right, do the intro, Darian.
All right, let's do it. And once again, the lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. You guys were right to take off your headphones. Jared, what do we have on tab?
I just love how all three of us have been seasoned at this. I'll take it off.
As soon as I say it.
And then poor Justin's got to suffer over here.
Anyway, let's see. J-Ski news. J-Ski has put its first draft out of the 2021 team and driver chart. So if you want to keep track of that, like they update it daily.
They do.
Awesome way to keep track of everything. And it's very just organized. Everything's good with that. So go check that out when you get the chance to. New Hampshire will be open this weekend, and they will have 19,000 fans, I believe. Speaking of New Hampshire, let me say that the drivers and teams and everyone, NASCAR has said for this to work, they have been banned from going to bars, to restaurants inside, stuff like that. They have to basically keep themselves in a bubble. So pretty cool deal with that. The Bubba Bumper from the All-Star race, which I'm pretty sure all of us have a vested interest in, has sold for over $20,000 to go to charity. So something good came of that.
And it was bought by carparts.com. They bought it, and then they matched exactly what they bid for it to Victory Junction game.
Oh, that's right. I didn't have it written down, but Eric, you were verified.
Yeah, I saw that in the chat too. Yeah, I can see the little check mark right beside his name.
I know, it's amazing. Carnation brought it up, and so I just had to rub it in his face just a little bit, but that's okay.
Dover, the Dover weekend, August 21st, 23rd, which is going on at the same time as the Indy 500.
No one's watching the Dover race.
Well, a Saturday race.
At least there is too. So
yeah, there's
so the Dover weekend from August 21st, 23rd, no fans will be at that race weekend. The Pinty's Dirt Race, also I saw one of their dirt race, or their only one, I don't know, is postponed to 2021. So any Pinty's fans out there, my condolences. Yeah. Actual condolences, though, to a few families in the sport. NASCAR Pinty driver Brandon White passed away on Friday from cancer at the age of 46, and Maurice Petty passed away at 81. Did they announce what happened, like why Maurice Petty passed away?
I don't know. I would just assume it's natural causes, but I mean, I don't know.
That's what I'm... But so, again, our condolences to their families and friends. Jim, something to sort of add a little levity here. Jim Utter says that Austin Cindric won the race. Because he tweeted too early.
Yeah, that's right. So whenever Jim Utter makes that mistake, people are naturally going to get on him for that.
I was blocked. Well, I am still blocked by him, but somebody put that in one of my chats, and I'm just like, oh my god, meme material.
Did he ever delete it? Because he left it up for a while.
Yeah, he did.
It's still up.
Wait, it's still up?
I wish it was it was yesterday when I looked on Reddit.
Oh my god.
Let's see. NASCAR could, and this is Bob Pockris here, to use a taller spoiler possibly for the Daytona road course. Maybe they get a giant ass spoiler.
Yeah.
NASCAR also may be putting in, again, according to Bob Pockris, may be putting in a chicane off of the oval turn 4 at Daytona for the road course.
You need to. You need to.
Yeah, you definitely need to do that. Definitely.
You need to give them a reason not be carrying all that speed through turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, like unrestricted engines, no way.
And that's probably also why they would consider a taller spoiler, just to keep them down a little bit.
Yeah.
The likelihood that they're gonna crash in the first 5 laps is very high. According to Bob Pockris, health departments near Bristol and Texas have said that there are no cases of COVID that can be traced to fans that were at the track as of now. This was also a few days ago. Nothing has been reported that would refute that at this time. So fingers crossed.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed that
what happens.
But yeah, so there is that. Good news.
We have had people in our specific group we were with at Bristol who have went and had COVID tests and have come out negative. So that's a good sign out of us.
I don't feel any symptoms either. I feel great.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I feel good.
Yeah, you feel good, Justin? You feel good, right?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
You're straight.
One of our previous guests, Noah Gregson, has said that, and Riley Herbst have said they've agreed to disagree for what happened with the Texas incident. General Tire will be bringing rain tires to the Daytona road course race for ARCA. So that's something to note there. Controlled pit stops, similar to local short tracks where they just have a designated time, similar to what they do in, it's now ARCA, what was the K&N series, will be in effect at Road America and Gateway. Let's see what else we got. We have a few more things here. NASCAR is more than likely not going to release the updated schedule until next week. The rumor right now is that Texas and Las Vegas races will switch, which I need to know pretty quick because I have a flight out to Vegas that week, and I really want to know like what the deal is.
Oh, and the flights are pretty cheap too. We were looking at that before the show.
Oh yeah, like I saw like a 5-day like round trip flight for me to go out to Vegas would be like $80. So
that's crazy.
Hell yeah. Let's see. We got one last thing. Where'd it go? Oh yes, Cole Pern is going over to IndyCar.
Hey, yeah, Cole Fern. He said, man, forget
He
NASCAR, man. He's gonna do his own thing.
he ain't done race. He ain't done racing yet.
Yeah, he's not done with racing. He'll probably just isn't he gonna be involved in the whole SRX stuff too? I don't know. I heard
I
something
don't I
about
don't
that.
I don't know enough
about
about that yet.
Yeah,
Oh,
maybe.
This one, according to Chase Wilhelm, says that JGR president Dave Alpern on contract talks with Eric Jones says yes, that we're in the process of it. It's at the top of everyone's minds, but he does say there's a lot of boxes that need to be checked off at this time.
Eric Jones is a curious case. He just has bad luck this year. I've seen him run up front
This
multiple
year?
times. Just
Yeah,
ever,
last
just every
year,
year,
too.
every year. Damn, yeah, pretty much, yeah. Ever since he's gotten in that 20.
Let's see if there's any last things that can be put. I just realized I crossed off the entire last page.
Who's
No
on backseat drivers this week?
Oh yeah, that's
that's
right. Yeah,
right.
talk about that. Talk about
Yeah,
that.
talk about that.
So last second got the invite to go talk with Alex Weaver, Jonathan Merriman, and Kim Kuhn on backseat drivers, and there were several segments on NASCAR.com yesterday, and now today on the NASCAR YouTube channel they have released our full about a 10-minute video. So if you want to check that out after us, of course,
Yeah.
go check that out.
That's cool.
And then NBC has added Brad. Darian, you say his last name.
Brad Doughty from 2018. Brad Doughty.
As a NASCAR analyst for pre and post race coverage, starting at the Michigan doubleheader. So cool stuff there, man. Oh, and Ryan Blaney and Chase Elliott got girlfriends. So every girl that's all, was like all dreamy eye that didn't even have a shot in the world at him. Sorry.
That was just like, that was a big deal. That was a big deal.
No.
You know what? That's what started the whole Twitter circus was that. Now everyone's just pissed off. That's the reason. Yeah. That's what it seems like.
So that's it. That's all we got.
So that'll be it. And once again, I got y'all with the.
That wasn't too bad.
It wasn't even that bad.
Close. But that'll do it for another edition of the NASCAR.
What are you laughing
Of the lightning round. Excuse me, the lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. What are you laughing at?
Everyone's talking about Cherie.
Oh no, Sheree. Yeah, Sheree from Twitter. Yeah, that girl is crazy. But really quick, before we move on, let me read a couple super chats. Jake Baskinger with the $2. Thanks, man. Says Jimmy Johnson will drive the 48 in the future. Okay. And then Mr.
Which can mean this weekend.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. And then Mr. Antiant, thank you for another $2. Are you guys excited for Brad Daugherty to be back? Yes, I was on Twitter. I was basically yapping on Twitter like, yes, we're gonna get those old 2014 ESPN vibes back. I really miss those days. Like
I saw someone on Twitter said, like, why would you want him back? Why would you want Alan Bestwick back? The ESPN was the worst. Honestly, no. The people ESPN had as commentators were not bad. It was the producers and the way they presented it that wasn't good.
And Sports Center.
2011 to 2014, they had the perfect storm of, commentators, pit road reporters, pre-race hosts. It was perfect, and there was a reason they didn't change that for basically 3 to 4 straight years. And then even to an extent, ESPN's marketing towards from 2012 to 2014, I really liked, especially the way they were marketing the 2014 playoffs was a bit outside the box, but I kind of was this isn't bad. I like they're going in a different direction, so I always have a bit of a soft spot for them. Especially
what about
for the
Marty?
guys there.
What about Marty Reed?
Marty Reed. I mean, he was a good. Marty Reed was
the final nail in the coffin of the thing.
Yeah, as a lead commentator, Marty Reed, no, but as a pit road reporter, yeah, I could, I dig it. Yeah, I give him that.
If we can bring back anyone to be a pit road reporter from the ESPN days, bring back Dr. Jerry Punch.
Oh,
I miss him.
Yes, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And one final super chat, I just got it. Bake the Snake again with the $5. Thanks, bro. Petition to get these guys to give the command to start the engines at Phoenix. I would kill for something like that. That'd be awesome.
Well, I'm not gonna say I would kill, but
yeah, I would love to do that. To be
I would
able to say that, yeah, dude. I've been watching NASCAR for years. To be able to freaking say that before a cup race, hell yeah, thank you, I appreciate that. But anyways, let's move on.
You know what I sound like? This is a throwback here for Darian and Danny from when we were driving through Nashville.
I
have. Totally grown up.
Wait, okay, hold on. Have you ever killed for a chance to give the command to start engines?
I have. If
Me
you watched
too.
Dora the Grown Up on whatever channel that was.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny. We were just obsessed with that the entire trip.
Good times.
Basically.
Eric, you should have been there.
Yeah, you should have
It
been
was-
there, Eric. Yeah, you're outside the loop.
I gotta try and find it. Unfortunately, I don't have it like right up on my screen right now. But the next topic we could look at is the playoff grid.
Playoffs. We're talking about
Playoffs?
playoffs. Yes, we are talking about playoffs because they're really close. So what's the cut line situation looking like?
I'm pulling it up right now. The NASCAR.com has it like set up so freaking weird with a lot of their stuff on the app.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually you have to find somewhere that has it in order,
I know
because they don't have it in order.
If you go to the playoff section, which I've got it here now.
Okay.
They still act like the regular season points mean something.
Yeah, they haven't mean anything since 2014. Come on, yo.
So
Here it is.
Right now, according to this, William Byron is 15th, Benedetto is 16th, Reddick is 17th, 10 back, Eric Jones is 12 back and 18th, Johnson is 18 back and 19th, and okay. Well, apparently it's going to come down to Reddick, Jones, and Johnson because
Yeah.
Bubba Wallace is 100 back.
Yeah, no, he's got to win. Got to pull off some miracle win for that to happen. But if we're going to talk about those cut line drivers, Eric Jones, like I said, just bad luck week in, week out. It seems like every single week he can't catch a break sometimes, man. It's just, well, not sometimes, most of the time. And it's a shame, too, because it's like he came into the sport and, well, really into the Cup Series with a ton of potential. But it's not fully being realized just because of this bad luck. I mean, he has 2 victories, Daytona and then in last year's Southern 500. But outside of that, I mean, Eric Jones, I mean, he's not really, he's just not really doing much. But I mean, it's because of, mostly because of stuff that's way outside of his own control, unfortunately. So, got to deal with it.
I think Eric Jones is in. I'd say of all those drivers on the bubble, he's the one in the best car.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so inconsistent because you're right. That team does make a lot of mistakes. Some of it is Jones, but I feel like especially in recent weeks, a lot of it has been
some of those calls.
Mishaps on pit road.
Mm-hmm.
Especially this last week at I think it was the Kansas race. Maybe it was the Kentucky race. I'm getting my mile and a half mixed up. I think it was Kansas. He was running up in the top 5 late. And on 2 pit stops in a row, the last 2 pit stops of the race, his team lost him more than 4 spots on each pit stop, and it was just an average, compared to everybody else. So that's, I think they said in the broadcast that pit crew is almost entirely different from the pit crew that he started this year with because they've had so many problems. So Eric Jones makes mistakes. I think back to the Bristol night race last year when he had the dominant car and made a mistake and took himself out. But I do think that team has had a lot of bad luck, and I think it's the team more than anything. So if that team can figure things out, when they don't make mistakes, they're a top 10 car on speed every single week. So I'm keeping an eye on him. Of course, Jimmy Johnson is Jimmy freaking Johnson. I mean, I'm an Eric Jones fan. I like Eric Jones, but I would arguably rather see Jimmy Johnson make the playoffs this year just because it's his last season and because I do think he's had a couple bad breaks with that penalty that cost him that second place finish and, of course, missing Indianapolis because situation he couldn't control. So a lot of interesting drivers. And then, of course, everyone's going to talk about Tyler Reddick trying to make it both RCR cars in the playoffs, put another rookie in the playoffs. I mean, that would be cool. I think I said this on my show. There are so many drivers right there on the playoff grid that I really want to see make the playoffs. Like, I don't actually wish this, but if we could have 19 cars in the playoffs this year, 20 cars in the playoffs, I'd be so happy because Boyer, Byron, Jones, Reddick, Johnson, I want all of them in the playoffs, man. I want to see all those guys succeed for various reasons. And unfortunately, it's going to come down to just 1 or 2 of them. And I don't really have faith in William Byron there, plus 10, I think. Yeah. I think he's in the danger zone. So I would expect either Reddick, Jones, or Johnson to be coming for him at some point.
And someone else who's been falling, surprisingly, and especially with this past week, fell a lot harder because of the wreck. Matt Benedetto, he's only 35 points in. That's 2 stages and finishing 15 spots behind somebody. So if he has another problem, he's going to be right in that scrum with Byron, Reddick, Jones, Jimmy.
And then we'll start to see some desperate. We'll basically begin to see some desperate moves being taken place too. Towards the end of the season.
I'm telling you, I still, the Busch brothers, while they're basically tied and they're well up right now, an upset winner or 2, and they'll be within the grasp of the cut line, which is kind of weird to say. But I mean, you've got guys down there like Kenza, you got Newman, Bubba, Reddick, all these people could win a race. They could. They've had speed enough to keep them on the lead lap. And the way that it is nowadays with restarts and just all the craziness and stuff, being on the lead lap can win you a race. Look at Austin Dillon. He just basically stayed in the lead lap all day at Texas, and he won at the end because he was able to position himself. So I don't think anybody who hasn't won yet. I don't think any of them are safe yet.
Yeah,
I really don't.
I don't think like anyone who the drivers who don't have wins. I feel like all of them, or at least most of them, have some sort of a shot. I mean, freaking Cole Custer was like, what, 24th, 25th in points before his win in Kentucky, and then boom, he's locked in, and then Dylan was like right around the same area code, and then he's automatically locked in, so that just makes things a lot more complicated for some of these teams on the bubble, and like I said, some desperate moves are going to be taking place probably towards the end of the season, that's for sure.
I want to ask, of all these drivers kind of we're talking about, and I'll throw into Benedetto, Byron, Johnson, Jones, and Reddick, I guess probably the main 5 or 6 there. Which of those guys do you think has the best chance of making a championship 4 run if they do make the playoffs?
Oh, if I had to pick those?
Yeah.
It's Benedetto.
Yeah, I was about to say Matty D. Probably.
He can string together hot streaks. Yeah. And with this format, if you do it the right way and get a hot streak, I think you can do that.
It's all about peaking at the right time. That's what it's about.
He'd have the opportunity to go for the win at Bristol, maybe have a strong showing at Talladega. There'd be chances on the Roval. He'd have a few shots.
And the 21 car is good at the 1.5 miles usually.
They really
especially like Vegas and Texas.
I mean, he's had, 2 second-place finishes this year, or at least one on the 1.5 mile?
He's been up there. I'll click down right now and see what his season's looked like so far.
It's just
I love Racing Reference. It's all.
Thank you, Racing Reference.
Imagine being somebody who would rip on people for looking up to be correct on Racing Reference. Imagine that. Let's see. Second at Las Vegas, third at Kentucky. It's just the last couple weeks.
Okay, so
very inconsistent. It's very spotty. Like he'll finish second at Vegas, and then the next 3 weeks finish 13th and 14th. Get a top 10, have 4 straight races outside of the top 15. Then we'll get another top 10. Hold on. Is this actually? Yeah. Matt DiBenedetto has not had back-to-back top 10s yet this year.
Dang. Yeah, talk about inconsistent. Yeah, no wonder he's down there.
I still think he has a better shot than any of the other drivers.
Oh yeah, if we're gonna talk about us, if we're talking about some sort of miracle championship 4 run, then yeah, I'll take Matty D. That's for sure.
But yeah. Like I said, if you haven't won a race yet, I still don't think you're 100%.
No, and
I think when you see
he has some opportunities. He has some opportunities.
I think after the Michigan doubleheader, we'll know for sure what people are completely safe, regardless at this point. Because I think like after this weekend at Loudon, we'll sort of if the gap between the top guys and the guys at the cutoff stays the same or goes up more, I think that we can start. After this weekend, we can start being more sure. But I mean, once you get past the Michigan doubleheader, that's just 4 races left. You pretty much know who's there.
Out of all of these guys that are not locked in yet, I think Almirola is who I feel best about right now.
Yeah, yes. I feel like if you're like 300 or let's say 200 plus points up by now, I think you can kind of coast on there. But I mean, it's not guaranteed though. It's not guaranteed.
For what it's worth, and I know it's not worth much because they would race differently. I know hypothetical situation, all that shit. Yeah. Hey, there, I broke the cussing streak. Eric Almirola would be right up there competing for a top 5 points position. I mean, the guy has put together a hell of a streak. It was like 7 races in a row, 8th or better.
Remember at some point earlier in the season, there was like questions about his performance. Like, damn, he's not really performing well. I think even that one guy Avery had like his little stats thing, and like I think Eric Almirola was like the biggest disappointment, based on his equipment. But like he's really turned it around this year, though, man. In season turnaround, man. You'd love to see it. And now he's like almost locked in, not fully locked in, but he's getting there. But I guess to end off this playoff talk, I guess I'm really looking forward to that Daytona road course, because that road course, man, I feel like it's gonna throw a freaking monkey wrench into everyone's season this year, and I personally think we'll see a surprise winner. I don't know who, but it will be someone below the cut line. I really do feel that way.
So should we get into the drama, the nice juicy drama?
Oh God, yeah. NASCAR Twitter's lost their minds. I don't know what the hell is going on, man. There's like so much that's been happening on that platform, man, over the past week. First, you have the Blaney and Chase Elliott shocker news, and I'm like, dude, they're guys, like they're NASCAR drivers. What'd y'all expect? They can't be single forever. And then they were losing their.
And sorry, they ain't looking on Twitter to find a
They're not looking for who looks for freaking love on freaking Twitter. Come on now, that's like going on Tinder to find love. Come on, y'all gotta get out of that. But anyways, yeah. So we had that, and then
half the comments are about Cherie.
I think there's like so much. Yeah. By the way, Dylan Smith will be on in 10 minutes to answer your question, Eric. I just called you out. Right there.
I was DMing him. I was checking on my watch. I was like, oh, hold on a minute.
Yeah, no, he'll be on in 10 minutes, y'all. Yeah, Dylan Smith will. He just DM'd me that. But no, so we had that. And then, Justin, did you see any other drama on there, too? I know there's a bunch that I'm missing.
There's a lot of drama. I don't understand. Like, I can't keep up. Like, I see, like, women fans getting disrespected.
Yeah, they were getting harassed.
All on my timeline. I'm like, what is going on?
No,
like,
they're legit getting harassed online.
Yeah.
And
then
you got
Bubba Spotter.
Yeah.
That tweet, man.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think it was like weird that like I saw in the replies like the girl was like someone was like, hey, you should delete this, and the girl immediately said why.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't
it's
know.
just
drama.
Like I'm a married man. I would never tweet anything like that with Claudia.
I'd never do that with my girlfriend either. I would never tweet something like that. Like, and it's just not even during the cancel culture era. Like just take all that out of it. You know, just I wouldn't do that. But then you look at everything that like people have been posting and all this stuff with like with cancel culture and all this. It's like, for the love of God, people, like there's got to be some kind of I don't want to say like NASCAR shouldn't get involved because this is way below them and their pay grade. But the teams, like people, like official people that work for teams getting into these stupid petty dramas and all this BS, like there needs to be some kind of course that these teams put their employees through with this, because there's been so many of these over the last year of people saying or doing stupid things or treating other, people or fans like with just the lowest amount of respect and being completely toxic. Like there needs to be a point where, it's fun to go back and forth on Twitter. I do it. I will admit I've not been the best at doing just what I said of not being toxic. I will admit that. And I definitely should do better. But I think that overall, if somebody is supposed to be in this professional area and they're doing this kind of BS with each other and stuff, or with other people and egging people on and doing stuff, it's like you got to get above that, because it makes the sport look bad. Like as much as they shouldn't matter, people will see that and immediately be like, oh, it's a NASCAR spotter, showing himself, grabbing up on his wife. And like, it just looks horrible on the sport. Like there needs to be a little bit more professionalism with it. I feel like NASCAR Facebook has moved over to Twitter now. That's what it feels like, because Twitter wasn't this bad until the apocalypse.
I still see a little bit better on Twitter. I do Facebook.
Well, no.
I'm not saying it's completely. I'm just saying it's starting to bleed.
Well, no, I take that back. Facebook is full of like Jim and Bob telling you how they're done watching NASCAR, but they're still
in the chat you can say
literally anything that might have something to do with NASCAR to say that.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you can say cancel culture is over in the chat. It's not. People do it to each other.
It's
BS,
not over. It's never going to be over, especially
it's never over. It's never over.
Yeah.
But I agree. We can cancel Twitter. That's fine. I don't care.
I mean, as far as social media is concerned, it's just just the timetable of this. It's just this is such bad timing, especially with all of the other drama going on in the world right now. It's ridiculous.
I think a few weeks ago, a few months ago, Darian, you're like, why aren't you on Twitter so much? I'm like, dude, I just don't want to be on it. It makes me miserable, and I stay on there too damn long. Like, I got to take a break. And
then right then, that's when all the COVID stuff and all the other extra BS started. And then now I freaking feel your pain now. Like, I'm just on there, for the racing, because I love racing and I love interacting with the fans and stuff like that. But come on, y'all. Some of y'all gotta relax with some of that stuff. I understand calling people out too. Like, I mean, Bubba Spotter, that dude, he deserved to get his ass called out, because that was just, I don't know, I just thought it was weird, to be honest with you. But like, I don't know. I feel like, if we're gonna talk about, differing opinions on like, when on stuff like the sport, people, they will just go after you for everything. Like, I saw it on freaking Eric's Twitter today, man. Eric made up a valid point about, talking about, hey, Twitter shouldn't be running this league. And then someone was like, so Eric doesn't like leagues listening to fans and that sort of thing. What's wrong with that? I'm like, Eric didn't say that. You just made that up in your own BS. You had, in your own BS assumptions and, in your head and stuff. And I'm just like, let him breathe.
I totally agree with that super chat.
Oh, hold up. Let me read some of these super chats off really quick. I think I got a few more. But go ahead.
I was just saying, I don't think Twitter is, and I don't believe this about really anything. I still don't think Twitter is well represents real life in a lot of ways. So, so yeah, I don't know. That one I was just saying, looked like Ray Everham was reacting to Twitter, but that was before your point, Jarrett, being made that maybe this is all just for publicity. That goes back to the SRX thing. We don't need to talk about that, but yes, social media it just is what it is. I think, people have to watch what they say on social media, and I think in some ways that's good, in a lot of ways that's bad, and it just kind of, I don't know, it takes control of a lot of people's lives, and it's such an important part of so many people's lives. Like, a lot of days I wish I didn't go on Twitter, but like I feel like especially during weekends, like during races, I feel like I have to be on Twitter in a lot of ways. I feel like that's a part of my job in a lot of ways, is being on Twitter and reacting to races. That's what people want me to see me do, and what they want to see a lot of us do as well, since we're all very vocal in the NASCAR community and the online community. But it's just limiting your exposure to social media, limiting what you let get under your skin. I think it's always important for me, at least, to kind of take a step back and remember that everything you see online is not representative of what you always see in your day-to-day life. Like, I think about what I see on Twitter does not match what I then go to, like, even just like my local grocery store, and like if I talk to anybody there, like, it's just such a different vibe, such a different mood. And keeping those things, valuing things you see on social media, because there's a lot of good points made on social media, and there's a lot of important information to be seen on social media, but keeping the two separate, at least to a point where you can maintain your own sanity, I think is important. That's something I always try to do.
Yeah, I'll admit, in my daily life, I'm Daniel Bolden. I'm a regular guy from Tennessee. I'm doing what I need to. When I'm on YouTube, when I'm on Twitter, when I'm on backseat drivers at NASCAR.com, I'm Danny B. I can be, that's who I am. I'm talking about NASCAR here, and it's like Eric said, it's important to keep those two separate. But heck, I told these guys, weird thing happened to me 2 days ago, I think, or no. Yeah, 2 days ago, went to go get an oil change, and there's this guy, and something's on TV. It was like Pawns. No, it wasn't Pawns. It was American Pickers, and he said, they're based out in Nashville now, don't you? And I was like, oh no, I didn't know that. I don't have cable, so I don't really watch anything. I said, as long as I watched races on my Roku, I'm fine. And he's like, what's him? He's like, races. I'm like, yeah, NASCAR. He's like, oh, they can shut that down. They can defund that. And he got onto all this stuff about how he hated the BLM stuff. He hated that they took the flag away, and I was like, I'd rather fly the American flag. And he was like, it kind of took him back. He's like, well, I'll fly the British flag. And then I was like, Jesus. What the hell? And then he said something. Flag. And then he said something about and that Bubba Wallace guy, and I was like, he's good.
Black Mamba. Oh my gosh, what are you wearing? I was not expecting that.
Dang.
What up?
What's up, man?
How's it going, man?
What's with the get up?
Hey,
listen,
we're not that professional yet, dude.
Damn.
Yeah, well, I have a birthday party that was going on.
Okay.
That I'm gonna go back and rejoin up with. So I'm like, well, I'm not gonna change. I'm just gonna flex real quick.
Okay, I see you. All
right. Let them know what it is. What's going on.
I like that, man. Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, we were just talking about NASCAR Twitter and how toxic it is. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think you guys know, I think Twitter is a dangerous rabbit hole. It can be really toxic. Its pure entity is really awesome and really great and really fun, but it gives people a platform to speak when maybe they don't need one. Just because you have a right to say something doesn't make it right to say it. So it's tough sometimes. It's definitely tough sometimes.
Yeah. Welcome to the show. What are your thoughts on social media?
Yeah, basically, I just threw him to the fire, right?
Asking the world's hardest questions we need answers to.
So on NASCAR Twitter, NASCAR Twitter went crazy about Ryan Blaney's new girlfriend. Are you going to be okay, man? I mean,
yeah, are you going to be all right? I was about to ask that.
Yeah, it's her birthday. I was just at.
Oh!
Like, I'm fine, bro. Like, that's G's fam, you know?
Hey, all the
I
fan
didn't,
girls
I
are
didn't
gonna get
expect
pissed.
that. I didn't expect that. I was just trying to joke, but
Yeah, all the
No,
fan girls
yeah,
about to
yeah.
get mad, bro. Oh my god.
Hey, no, I told him today, I said, I looked at her, I said, why'd you have to break the internet like that, G?
Yeah.
And she's just like, I'm stoked for him. I think and the reaction, how do you not love the reaction for it? It's so funny. It's because it's so real, right? Like
Yeah.
everybody wants a piece of RB, and now he's off the market, right?
Mhm.
But the way he did it, right? Like the picture is like every female almost makes it worse because every female's like, that's exactly what I want, what I thought it would be.
That
I
was
want
supposed to be me.
That's
That was supposed to be me, bro.
Yeah, I love it.
Like,
And it's like, and you're sitting there like, and you really thought you had a chance.
yeah, like, bro,
You know what
nobody's looking for love on friggin' Twitter. Nobody's doing that.
it reminds me of like 2011 and 2013. Like people would find out like Justin Bieber was with someone.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Darren, read that super chat real quick. I think it pertains to our
Oh,
guest here.
$15. Holy crap. Thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't even see that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Superfan TV. Appreciate it. Thank you for the for the 15 bucks. Yeah. We know her. Please take me off your t-shirt list, Dylan, and congrats on Hickory.
You read it wrong.
Dude,
What?
You read it wrong.
What'd I say?
You read it wrong.
What'd I say? Oh, shit.
What'd you say?
I thought it
I
said
knew-
t-shirt.
T-shirt.
I thought it
list.
said
I knew
t-shirt for a
that.
second.
I knew that wasn't right. I was like, that doesn't even make sense.
I just saw
Okay.
the T. I was like, wait, what? I'm like, what is this? And I saw the SH. Okay. Off your shit list, basically. I can cuss. This is my channel.
So
Basically
I gotta
what I'm
ask
saying.
this. I gotta say this. That's my wife's cousin. So you got an issue with her?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yes. She's
That
at the
is
Bristol
my
house.
wife's cousin.
She's at the Bristol house.
Dude, I love her. She's so awesome. So we started chatting, I think it was last year. I noticed, she started following me or whatever, and I noticed that, she was really into the sport and was new. And like, I started listening to what she was saying. Like, she asked me some questions, and I was like, look, like, to get in, like, I'm here. Like, I whatever questions you have, like, I'll be happy to try and help. And we kind of chatted. Me and Darren, we've talked about it before. Like, as a person of color, there's also a relation to women and how to get in the industry, along with everybody else. But there's just a little bit of different avenues we got to take, and somewhat. So I'm like, if you need anything, let me know. And I love her content. I did not know that you guys were tight like that. I think
Yeah.
it's phenomenal.
It,
Y'all should have invited me to Bristol. I'm disappointed.
next time.
Yeah, next time for sure. Well, while
Yeah,
I'm at it,
September.
while I'm at it, let me read some more. Let me read off some more super chats. Chrome Diesel, thank you for the $5 there, buddy. If Custer ends up being the only rookie in the playoffs, does he automatically win Rookie of the Year? Yeah, I believe so.
No.
Yeah. Or he doesn't?
No, he doesn't.
Oh, he doesn't?
No.
Overall, week to week, Riddick's been better.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
What? No. Like the point system is two different things too.
Mhm.
Like, yes to what Danny said, but the point system for the rookie is different than the point system for like that is based off of those four guys. Like whoever's doing better out of those four guys in any given week. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's understandable, especially with, the playoffs and stuff like that. Bake the Snake, thank you for the two $5 super chats. Appreciate it. The first one, 7 races, 6 spots. Realistically, who shines and who straight up busts during the playoffs or, during the whole run down to the cut line? I don't know, man. There's just so many options. There's just so many drivers. It's so competitive right now. It's hard to put my finger on, like, which ones are exactly going to be,
Come out of a hat.
I'm thinking Stenhouse has got to have that Daytona circled to be an upset.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Stenhouse, somehow pulls off some miracle victory in Daytona. I mean, he'll pretty much just wreck the whole field, right? That's what happened in 2018, man. Yeah, that's what it felt like sometimes. But yeah,
R.I.P. everyone's checkbook for a last chance to get into playoffs.
yeah, no,
I'm
'cause
gonna be there.
Yeah,
I'm
Stenhouse.
gonna be there.
He's gonna make sure. He's gonna make sure he makes it happen. That's for sure. And
I'll be there. I'll be there.
And then the final one: if Twitter got canceled, the planet would be better as a whole. then it's probably been the last 5 years. Bake the Snake. That's probably your best super chat all night. Appreciate it.
Holy smokes, guys! Like, no lie, me and one of my friends just talked about that. Like, if the guy, I forget the guy's name that runs it, but if he shut it down and got rid of it, he should win a Nobel Peace Prize. like bam, you win. Like you get that because it's awesome, but it is so toxic that like it, you know.
If I didn't use it so
2014.
if I didn't use it so much for my NASCAR stuff, I would delete it. Okay, back to you.
Yes.
We need a producer at this point.
We need a producer telling us to stop talking.
Anyway, I miss 2014 Twitter, man. Like there was no chill, but there was still like a code of ethics at least. Like people were like, okay, hey man, like cool it, but it wasn't like a cancel culture either. Like everything just went nuts after 2014, and it's like it's just I hate it. I hate
respect. It's disrespect, bro. There's just not a whole. It's hard to find it, and people get behind the camera and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna fire this off because it gets retweets, and retweets means I get this 5 seconds of fame." And it's like sweet, but you're also a piece of crap person for saying
if you're basing your whole self-esteem off of retweets, you're living life wrongly. That's what it is basically. Like I don't know.
If you look at some of those accounts that say the most ridiculous stuff and then look at how many people follow them, it's like 300, maybe 400, 900. They just had something witty to say that got retweeted by a bunch of people that had some other followers. Yeah. So they're not really I would rather those people go away.
Yeah, but it's Twitter.
A lot of them hide under fake profiles, just hide who they are. So
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. All right, one final super chat. Thank you, JC142 for the $2 there, buddy. You ever asked Noah Sweet if he ever wants to come on? He'll be on the podcast in the future. That's going to happen. He made this damn shirt. So, yeah, he's going to be on the podcast, bro, anytime.
So, Dylan, you're going racing soon. You just announced that.
Yeah, I was about to ask you about that. Yeah.
Yes, we're going this weekend. So, today is basically Thursday. So, Friday, we're going to shake down the car. And then Saturday we are gonna go run, man. I'm stoked. The Cars Tour, it's gonna be fun. I've never ran a super late model. I ran a pro late model. Super late model is more horsepower, but at Hickory it doesn't really matter because it's all wore out. So you're really being easy on the gas. So I'm stoked, man. It's gonna be fun.
It is the Cars Super Late Model Series.
Yeah, it's the Cars Tour. Super late model series. So if anyone wants to go and check it out, you can subscribe. It's like $24 a month, but I mean you can cancel this subscription after this weekend if you don't want to watch anymore. That's cool. But if you do want to go check it out, there's gonna be fans. It's gonna be electric. I'm stoked.
Okay. All right, and what number are you this weekend?
Yeah, what number?
We're gonna be a 21 car. It's white with gold flake around the number, so it's kind of hot. Yeah, it's kind of hot.
Post pics.
Yeah, I want to see.
I'm gonna post pics. Got a lot of media stuff. We're gonna try and do some video stuff. My buddy Opie, who works at RCR now and does all their videos. If you're wondering who makes the hot content, it's Justin. He is the dude when it comes to that. His name is Shoot Awesome. So I'm trying to get him to come out and do some video stuff. So it'd be cool.
That's cool. Nice. Yeah. I can't wait to hear how you do there too. Yeah, it's crazy.
I hope I want to be competitive, man. I want to go win. That's why you go win. But as long as we're there and fast and competitive, hey, that's all you can really ask for.
Yeah, I feel like at this point you're just happy to be racing something at this point, though.
Bro, yeah. I mean, I'll race a wheelbarrow. If anyone has a wheelbarrow race and you want to sponsor, I'll fly anywhere to race a wheelbarrow. I don't care. But yeah, just being able to do it is a lot of emotions because this is the first time that I didn't have to go and really hunt for it. You know what I mean? I didn't have to really go out and ask people that I'm friends with so much and ask people that, just because they have deeper pockets to support stuff like that. I don't really like doing that. For big events, it's different because I have more time to put something together, and usually for bigger events, I'll put the Movember Foundation on it, or the Wendell Scott Foundation on it, or the American Cancer Society on it. Well, this came together in 2 weeks. Literally, actually, it came together Monday. So super blessed, bro. Super blessed.
I see in the chat they're already asking would you go and race mopeds?
Mopeds?
I will race. Anything.
Anything.
All right.
He just said
Okay.
anything.
Okay, all right. Let's take you to Rockford Speedway on the figure 8 track, and you're going to run those the trailer races. You're going to do that.
Yeah,
go, baby.
Well, might as well do the trailer races. Yeah, those are nuts, by the way. I didn't even know that was a real thing like that. But damn,
There's a reason we call it Parkinson out there, man.
Jeez, yeah, those are crazy. I felt bad for the dude who had to clean up all that crap, though. That was.
He's cool, dude. He's cool, dude.
Oh, you actually know the guy?
Yeah. I went to the
you
Speedway
went
this
there.
past
Yeah,
week.
That's
yeah,
right. You actually met him.
no, because I think her name is Jody Deary. She's on the NASCAR Hall of Fame committee.
Oh, damn.
So Derry is a real name?
Yeah, Deary's a
Yes.
real name. It's not John
Yes.
Deary. It's actually someone else Deary. That's funny.
Yeah, because like she was like showing us pictures of like stuff with like her and Richard Petty. So I was like, oh, that's a pretty good friend to have.
Okay.
That's cool, dude.
Jared, is that a Chevelle behind you?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Oh
it
yeah,
is.
he's
Okay.
never seen that before. I don't think.
Yeah, I'll move out of
Yeah.
the way. No one wants
No,
to
you're-
see me right now.
Yeah, I want to see the Chevelle. That's his grandfather's, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
Yeah, 1970.
Yeah.
Wait, is that a motorcycle too?
Yes, Harley Davidson,
Oh, cool.
2003.
I never noticed that. It's always right
Yeah,
behind
I
you.
never noticed
Yeah.
the motorcycle either.
There we go.
There you go.
Ooh, is that a cooler too? Oh my
Is
god!
that a cooler? Is that a ginger flag right over there?
Whoa!
All that stuff. Jeez.
What I'm wondering is if anyone ever noticed the skeleton.
Oh, I did. Oh yeah,
What?
you told me about it the first day. I think.
There's a skeleton in the background.
Wait, where?
You gotta
Wait.
find it. It's like
Oh,
Mars
by
Waldo.
Earnhardt. By Earnhardt.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
got.
we got champagne racing in the house too. I didn't
Uh-huh.
You
even know.
didn't even know.
Oh yeah, he's just been here this
I
whole
didn't
time.
know.
Yeah, he was.
I
Yeah,
didn't know.
He's been here.
He's
this whole
lurking
time.
right now.
Yeah, he's lurking. This is his first time, so he's kind of trying to figure out, what to say, all that stuff. Yeah, first time on the show.
I'm learning.
Yeah, he's learning.
Bro, you just kick in and take over for a minute. You just got it.
Yeah,
It's a
pretty
bunch of
much.
alphas in here. You got to.
It's like if you ever broadcast like a race, whether it's like a real one or like a virtual one, and just wherever you can get into talk.
Yeah, pretty much. If you interrupt people, oh well, they'll get over it.
We've been interrupting each other all night.
Yeah, for 2 years we've been interrupting people for 2 straight years, basically.
Sometimes you get that moment that me and Jared had where it's like we have a big one as far as like crashing with each
Right.
other.
Wait, can Eric say something? Because I've only seen him flip on the screen like twice. So.
Oh, say something.
Hi, I don't have much to say. I'm just kind of hanging out.
Hey, it's good to see you, dog. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. Always great to hear your
cool.
stories.
So really quick, Jared, what's the next topic we got on tap?
Yeah.
We're just on picks now. We're
on picks? Damn, that was quick.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Damn, that was
Yeah.
a quick show. Okay, so they're racing in New Hampshire this weekend. That's right. Yeah, New Hampshire.
Yep.
I got a love-hate relationship with that track, with New Hampshire. It's fun to play in, the old NASCAR Thunder games, and then sometimes I don't know, some of those races just get so boring, so drawn out. But in recent years, it's produced a much better product. I mean, the racing as a whole is like so-so, but like the finishes the past two seasons there have been pretty good. So I'm really looking forward to it. Very intrigued. So who's gonna suck, Jarrett? Who's gonna suck this weekend? Yeah, you see that? I always get him right there. So yeah, who's gonna suck this weekend at New Hampshire, Jarrett?
All right, so I look back at the last 3 summer New Hampshire races because I think it has a better, it just goes better with what we have right now. I could look at the last 3, but I never think the fall one and the summer one ever were the same. But looking at it, this guy finished below 18th in 2 of the last 3 summer New Hampshire races. He's been sort of on a downward slide this year. I've had him as my suck pick before, but I'm going with him again. I hope he doesn't, but I'm going with Clint Boyer on this one.
Ooh.
And he's on that cut.
I will go next for this one. Well, good thing there's no practice this time because last year, he did so bad he had to take Jimmy Johnson's backup car, and it's going to be Alex Bowman who is going to suck this weekend at New Hampshire.
There's always a Bowman
Always
pick.
a Bowman
Always.
pick. Always from Danny B. I'll get mine out the way. I'm going to go with Cole Custer. Again, very inconsistent, but I mean, he is a rookie though, so I'll cut him some slack. But I mean, outside of that one playoff win, I mean, he's kind of been quiet this year, so I think he'll probably struggle this weekend, Cole Custer.
I'll go. This is a tough one. I'm gonna go with Kurt Busch. I know he didn't run well here last year. I don't think so. I don't know. I feel like that team has not shown the same speed they showed last year. So I'll give him a. I'll say he's my suck pick.
I guess I'm picking Eric Almirola. He's been strong in recent weeks at the 1.5 tracks, but Loudon is a completely different track, so I think he'll be kind of bad this weekend. Yeah.
Dylan?
You guys, okay, first off, ripping on Stuart Haas racing at Loudon. That's a terrible idea, first of all. That they basically own that racetrack. Like, they are so fast there all the time. And Boyer's won there before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Almirola hasn't been great. I like Eric. I think he's a solid, like, top 10 guy, top 5 guy. I don't see him as a winner, but he's gonna run strong there. And you got Harvick, obviously, and you know who else is one there?
Cole Custer. I know.
Custer.
Yes. Yeah.
Cole Custer. All right. So if you're gonna pick one, that's the wrong place. I think. I agree with the 88. Kurt Busch. Okay. And I think I'm gonna go with Kenseth because it's kind of low hanging fruit, and I can't get anyone mad because I don't know Matt like that.
You can get Eric mad.
But like they just aren't. He just hasn't really. It's hard, right? It is hard.
Yeah.
Like, he's been out of the seat. It's a different package. You know what I mean? It's hard, but I don't think he's gonna do very well. He hasn't done very well anywhere really, but Indy. He almost right Indy
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
right. And that's it. So yeah.
No Blaney or Chase Elliott though.
Gonna suck.
Yeah.
Listen.
Just say it for
I mean-
entertainment value. Go ahead. No.
No. Well, honestly, like you
Wait,
can't even
wait.
you couldn't even see either one of them would suck.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they've been so fast all year.
Yeah.
Even
yeah.
if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he wants to say Blaney's gonna suck because he's probably like renting next room apparently.
Yeah,
So-
probably. Yeah, apparently so. So.
His room is right around the corner, but they're I gotta go meet them. Gotta go meet them after that.
Right.
No, well, we won't hold you too long.
Yeah,
then.
yeah. So
Hey, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It's all
All
good.
right.
We're about done anyway. So.
Yeah, we're almost done. So next
You're,
pick.
you know, well, hold on.
Go ahead.
You're the best dressed guest we've had on since Steve Phelps came on.
Yeah, without a doubt. And even then,
That's
you
saying something.
yeah, blow him out. the
I
water.
feel like Steve Phelps is a well-dressed guy, but baby, I'm a classics man.
Yeah,
You can be me when he looks this quick. I'm just saying,
ugly. Oh my god. He's just making.
Oh man.
Anyways, let's move on.
I've been out to dinner, man. I've had to come.
I can tell.
Oh,
Yeah, I can
no,
tell.
no. You need to go to the Bristol house and drink with me and Darian.
Y'all can hang.
Shots of moonshine all night.
I can't hang. Actually, I ended up vomiting.
They-
I
He
can't
can't. I
hang.
can.
can't.
Well,
I've
they
become a
had,
motivational speaker.
they had like 12 shots of moonshine. Within like
18.
18.
I had
18.
12. And then at 3
That's-
in the morning was basically. After that.
That's too much for me. That's too much. For me.
Yeah.
I was so can't hang.
Yeah.
I'm a tequila guy. I'll stay around tequila.
Oh yeah, I remember Coyote Ugly. That's for sure. Yeah, I remember those.
You
days.
do?
Yeah.
You do remember?
Of course.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah, of course.
Just checking.
But anyways, let's move on really quick.
Underdog.
Yeah. Underdog picks.
All
For
right,
New
we're-
Hampshire. Jared, go ahead.
All right. This guy has had 2 straight top 10s at this track. He has a good history of winning at New Hampshire. And we're just in need of a feel-good win. And I think that this guy has the best chance of upsetting the entire playoff grid. Ryan
Okay.
Newman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ryan Newman. I think I would love to see Ryan Newman win just to have the full comeback and for him to get in. And just for the absolute anarchy of the playoff bubble.
And
so that
blow
we
it
have
up some
to talk
more.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
just
so we can
blow
have
it
more to
up.
talk about next week.
Mhm. Definitely. Who's next? Wait, Danny, right? Yeah, Danny went
Yeah.
second.
Oh,
Go
yeah.
ahead.
Underdog this week. I'm gonna give this one over to William Byron. It could be a good chance for him to have a top 5, maybe run, maybe even contend for a win at the end of it. So William Byron.
I'll go with Bubba Wallace. I mean, he's definitely got to pull out some sort of miracle, win to make the playoffs at this point. But, we've seen it before. Upset wins happen, and then, some guys moving up, some guys moving down, out of nowhere. So you never know. So
Stay on the lead lap. That's
Yeah,
all you got to do.
stay on the lead lap.
these days.
Yep, just stay on the lead lap. That's for sure. Eric?
I'll go with Matt DiBenedetto. I didn't realize until I was doing research before the show he finished 5th here last year. I forgot about that in a Levine Family Racing equipment. So I'll give him a good shot to repeat with another top 5 this year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Justin, you're muted, bro. You're muted. Yeah, we
I'm
can't hear you.
muted?
Oh, okay. Well, now we can hear you.
I
Now.
am.
Yeah, you were
I
muted for
can
a second.
hear him.
Oh, I can.
I can hear him.
Oh, my bad. I didn't hear it. My bad. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm going with Tyler Reddick. He's been pretty consistent this year, and I think he's about to come through and, have an upset win.
All right. Dylan?
Yeah.
I think I got two. I'm gonna go with Priest is my real underdog. Like if he's gonna win somewhere, if he needs some luck. Like he just has no good luck. And Loudon, it's a home race, literally a home race.
Oh yeah.
Then people are gonna be going crazy for him. And if there's any one track other than like Iowa, I honestly think that he'll just know because he probably has almost as many laps as probably most of those guys there. That he's ran there a ton. So Priest and Jimmy Johnson. Eventually, Jimmy Johnson is gonna win, right? Like eventually, the racing gods are gonna give us what we need, which is to see the 48 in victory lane and in the chase because you want him in the chase. You want him to have a shot at 8. Because this year's just been no luck for him either,
Well,
So it is the magic mile.
He sold his soul for those 7 championships, so fair trade, right?
The merchandise people have already made the flags chasing 8. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't do that, man. It's just bad luck, right? But,
We need it. Yeah. Well, yeah. We need him in though. I hope he gets.
yeah.
I hope he does too.
Yeah, I do too. Okay, so final picks, winners picks. Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win at Loudon? Jarrett, start us off.
I mean, I know this is going to be going back to the season 1 meme here, but is there anyone really that you can't go straight to other than Kevin Harvick? 2 straight wins here and has just been just as fast, if not faster, this year than the last 2 years.
Yeah, I was about to say, Harvick was
he
my
heats up at the end of the year around this time, and he's already red hot right now. Like I got to go with Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, my choices for the past couple weeks, either Kevin Harvick or Denny Hamlin. And Hamlin's won here before, but Harvick 2 wins in a row. Yeah, make it 3, Kevin Harvick.
All right. Well, for me, he was my one to watch out for in backseat drivers, and he won at Martinsville, another flat track. Martin Truex Jr., what the heck is wrong with you this year? Go get that second win this weekend.
Oh, Cole Pern is what's wrong with him this year. But I agree. The Gibbs cars have always been really good at New Hampshire. So I think if anyone's going to have something for Kevin Harvick, I'll give it to Denny Hamlin. I think he led the second most amount of laps. I think he and his teammate led a bunch of laps here last year. So I'll go Hamlin.
Well, I was originally going to pick Kevin Harvick, but, that's too obvious. So I think Kyle Busch is going to come out and win this race.
Wow.
Oh.
Very good at Loudon, so he's going to win it, I'm telling you.
Yeah, he runs good there.
That's more of an underdog pick than Tyler Reddick.
Right?
Oh, damn.
I'm just saying, like Tyler,
like that.
Tyler's been flexing, bro. Tyler's been getting it done, and he's gonna win here soon because if you guys remember at Indy, was it Indy? Indianapolis, Cole Custer pushed Harvick right to the win, and then the next week the racing gods kind of helped him out a little bit, and he got that dub. They give it back, and Tyler just helped Austin win.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying. So I don't know the winner. I'm going with the 12. I'll go with the 12, man. Listen. He's just been so fast. They've been so fast everywhere, and he hasn't won, right? Like he won Talladega. You could point to probably 4 or 5 races that you're like, oh man, I can't believe he didn't win that one.
Club.
He should have won the first 3, to be honest with you. Should have won the first 3.
Texas. If the race goes to the trend, if not to say someone else wouldn't have wrecked, but if the 00 didn't wreck how he wrecked, the 12 is passing the 11, and then he's got a better shot. He didn't get to come down and get tires, and that really threw the whole thing away.
True.
So I'm saying the 12. I think it honestly a Penske car. It could be any of the 4. Like those guys are good there. They're good there.
Okay.
I would say Harvick, but that's too easy. That's
Yeah.
too easy.
Notice how not a single one of us picked Hamlin, who is very afraid of lobsters.
I picked Hamlin.
Yeah.
Eric picked Hamlin.
Eric picked Hamlin.
Okay, sorry, I missed that.
Well, yeah. So, we'll see what happens, though.
Sorry. No, Eric, you didn't pick him.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, though, man. But, damn, is that it, Jared? Is that it for the podcast tonight, or we got anything else?
I think it's it. I think it's it.
Damn. That was
Look
quick.
inside the notes. Look inside the
You gotta
paper.
look inside the paper.
No, inside. You got to open the side.
Yeah, you gotta look inside the paper there. Yeah, that was a lot quicker than I thought.
That's the last couple ones have went 2.5 hours each. So
Yeah.
like,
So we were due
this
for a
one
short
feels a lot shorter.
Yeah, we were
But
due
yeah,
for a
so
short
next week, we're gonna be on Eric's channel.
Mhm.
So what is that? August 5th.
Yeah, August 5th.
Something like
Yep,
that.
August 5th.
Awesome. We're going to feature, so we got 2 guests good to go right now, and we're not going to say the other one who's on the fence just because we've gotten in trouble with that before.
Yes. Yeah.
But Ian O'Brien will be on, as will Robbie Lyons. So that's going to be a really fun show.
Yeah, Ian O'Brien's like one of these young reporters. He's a cool dude, and then also Robbie Lyons is just generally a good dude. I've talked to him on a couple of occasions, even in
I've talked to him at Daytona.
Yeah, even in Daytona, he was like so nice to us too and stuff. So like that'll be cool to have him on next week, and maybe guest permitting, maybe we'll have more on there. So we'll see what happens.
Full show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, full show.
So, Eric, do you have the Dale call? Because I forgot mine in my car.
Shoot. I don't.
Should I open the garage door right now and go run out and get it?
Wait.
Yeah, go ahead. No, yeah, go do that. I have some super chats to read off of really
All right,
quick.
yeah, you do that. You do that.
So
Is that how you
got?
guys? Is that how you guys been ending the show with the Dale call?
Yep, pretty much all season, pretty much. So,
Unless we're on my channel, because then I actually just play a song at the end.
yeah.
So.
So
It
really
goes on
quick.
forever.
So really quick, 3 more super chats. Superfan TV, thank you for the $5. What's Dylan's Halloween costume this year? Yeah, what is gonna be your Halloween costume? Do you even know yet?
Yo, I can't tell you guys.
Oh yeah, yeah. that would-
We've honestly though, we've been planning Halloween out. Me and Ryan and Aaron, his sister, started talking about it like because it's quarantine, so we're gonna start to talk about. But
Yeah.
we've been talking about it already. We're a month into talking about it. How we're gonna up it. Y'all might have to come out, man. It's a good time. We've had a couple people fly in for the day and then leave that after the next day. I swear to God,
that's
that party is worth the trip. It's fun.
that's what's up, man. That's cool. And then let me see. Bake the Snake. Thank you so much for the money tonight, bro. I appreciate it. So you sent 2 more $5 super chats. Thanks, bro. The first one, we've been talking Cup pretty much the entire time, but I've been noticing that Xfinity has been lighting it up a lot lately. Yeah, it's the best series in NASCAR right now, hands down. I love
I
it.
hate that that's the one series where fans are not allowed to go in and see it in
I
person.
know. It's just so much great racing in person. Just you can't see it right now because of circumstances. And then the final one, Matt Diamond DiBarito for the win. I was about to botch that super chat. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean he's pretty good at New Hampshire, and we'll see. But anyway,
I gotta be honest.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
You guys need to come. I'm gonna get you guys. I've had Darian on, but you guys all need to come on the show.
Mhm.
The Racing Fan Zone. We're gonna get that linked up. We're starting to do scheduling more further out, but we're gonna link it up. Have you guys come on? Really appreciate you guys always bringing me on. I feel like love is love, so I need to send it back.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm down.
I'm all for it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Fire.
What was
Fire.
that? Was that the list,
That
Mr.
was-
Jarrett?
Yeah, I made it into a paper airplane.
I thought I saw you fold.
I knew. Yeah, I thought I saw something.
I'm sitting there just like folding it. Yeah, but the Dale call lives.
Yep. All
Thank
right.
God.
So
It was
that'll do
repaired.
Oh, it was repaired. Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Super glue for the win. Gorilla Glue, please sponsor the show.
All right, but yeah, that'll do it for another edition of the NASCAR Weekly Podcast.
You got a super low again there, Jarrett.
Yeah, you're about to make it again. Anyways, thank
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys so much for watching. This is Black Flags Matter. Catch you next time.
I am acting. I'll need a designated driver.
That sounded awful.